can't get to us.
What?
They can't get to us.
Have fun with crowd.
Yeah, there's gonna be people running.
It was kind of funny yesterday. The llama and the food club were like spazzing out. They were like,
I'm getting a chair. Stay there.
can you get me one?
No, I can't.
Where'd you get them? Chairs? I'll get you a chair if you want some stuff. Sure.
Where did Finn go?
Get chairs.
Oh yeah, you sit there. I'll sit here. We'll catch.
Look, this will be
What?
good.
You're on me.
Finn.
You've got one. You just brought one.
That's not for me.
Why? Who did you give it to?
Hey guys, stay a few minutes back in the room. Okay? Don't stand too close to the work.
Come on. Get a chair. Please. Why not? Please, you sit down here.
I didn't know.
And welcome everyone here to the Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground for the second T20 International between Hong Kong and Scotland. Max Abbott here joining you once again. Managing to start on time. We'll get the full 20 overs in today. Hong Kong have won the toss and elected to field first. That's going to be Hasib Amjad, who bowled so well for Hong Kong yesterday. 2 overs, 1 for 8 in the match that was reduced to 10 overs a side. He'll be opening the bowling once again here today for Hong Kong. He's going to be coming into George Munsey. False start. So Munsey forcing off the back foot, fielded by Mark Chapman, who had what they call in cricket a thanks for coming day in the first 2020 International. Wasn't required to bat, wasn't required to bowl. Said last night that he fielded 3 deliveries, so it's worth the flight from rushing from New Zealand, where he was playing some domestic cricket, to get to Hong Kong. Hopefully get to see him in action with the bat later on today. See, let's let go there. It's certainly looked fairly slow getting through to the keeper. The ball only carrying through to Jamie Atkinson around the ankles. So, George Munsey top scored for Scotland in the first 2020 International, making 17 off 10 deliveries, with the vice-captain, Kyle Kurtzer, at the non-striker's end. Well, a big appeal here from Hasib, and he's given him. So the first wicket falls. Hong Kong wicket in the first over once again, as they did in the match yesterday. I must admit I was a little uncertain if that may have pitched outside the line of leg stump, but the first wicket has fallen. So not the start that Scotland wanted. They've lost the first one-day international, beaten in the first T20 international here, and now they've lost a wicket in the first over. Scotland sticking the same top 3 as they did in the first T20 International. Matthew Cross, the wicketkeeper, has come out to the crease, and Hasib's got a bit of a grin on his face there. Pretty pleased with himself. Wicket in the first over, and before a run has been scored. It could be a wide, and it is. Yeah, very overcast and cool conditions here in Hong Kong. There's the chance of a light shower this afternoon, but by comparison to what has been falling in Hong Kong over the last couple of weeks, it shouldn't be anything that stops a full match being played. Oh, that's a snip back. Bit of confusion between the batsmen as well. So Hasib Amjad just starting off from where he left yesterday, where he was really got the ball rolling again for Hong Kong with just 2 overs, 1 for 8, and when it was 10 overs aside. That is a real help to your team. No run there, so just the wide so far. Getting Scotland on the board. Seeb again giving Hong Kong a good start here in their first 6 overs, of course, just the 2 men allowed outside the ring. I can tell you they are currently stationed at third man and deep square leg. Times that well, but straight to Mark Chapman at point. End of the first over, a good one for Hong Kong. Scotland a 1 for 1. So it'll be the skipper Tanveer Afzal to open the bowling with Haseeb at the other end. Very skillful bowler. Generally likes to bowl very straight. Just missed Kyle Kurtzer in the first one-day international, with Kurtzer trying to hit him back over his head. You can see he's got the underskins on there. It is particularly cold here in Hong Kong today. There's quite a strong breeze coming. Oh, that's close. Big appeal, not given. Nip back, might have been a bit of bat involved. Yeah, 17 degrees here in Hong Kong today. Very overcast conditions, and I don't think expect too much of a change. Looks pretty set in. Well played there from Kurtzer. Just knocks it to mid-on for 1. He's off the mark. Made it 600-700 people turned up yesterday in the sunshine. But hopefully a few more fans will stream in as the afternoon unfolds and they realise that the cricket is on, because it was delayed by 3 hours yesterday and reduced to 10 overs a side, but a full 20 overs scheduled for today. Tanveer Afzal, it's a good spot to bowl. The ball not bouncing a lot there. And Matthew Cross is off the mark as well. So big game this one. The victory for Hong Kong yesterday unofficially saw them move up to 10th out of Scotland in the rankings. So there's plenty at stake here. And as an Australian in commentary, notice that Australia only 2 places ahead of Hong Kong in the rankings. Fair few points ahead, but still. Tanveer, beautiful delivery. That one carried and bounced. Kyle Kurtzer just fending at it. Looked like it probably just nipped away a fraction. You can understand Hong Kong choosing to bowl first here with these overcast skies. Just see what the wicket is doing. Time their chase beautifully yesterday. And that one keeping a fraction low, so early signs are there may be a little bit of variable bounce in the surface, and that's surely caused by the amount of weather that has been around for the past two to 3 weeks here in Hong Kong. The ground staff done an amazing job. As you can see, there's sawdusted areas just to the right of your screen there. And goes straight back over his head. Is it going to go for 4? Yes, it is. Boundary is pretty short straight here. Cole Kurtzer playing the shot that brought about his downfall to Tanvir in the first one-day international, but on this occasion played a more controlled version, and as a result, got a better result. So 1 for 7 after 2 overs. 6 runs from Tanvir Afzal's over there. It's not too bad in the first 6 overs of a 2020 match. So it will be Hasib to continue here. Again going for that cut shot, manages to force a fumble from Chapman. Run a quick single, so bring Cole Kurtzer back on strike. Things a bit quieter to kick off in the Cow Corner Club today, with the match starting on time. They were generating plenty of atmosphere yesterday afternoon. Big thank you to Liquid Assets and Brokenwood Wines for their support of that event. And some of them have come back for more today, so good on them for backing up. Save goes short, and that's hammered. That'll be 4. It's not the quickest pitch in the world, this one. So not quite there with your bouncer. Then that one just sat up and asked to be hit. So Cole Kurtzer, he missed out in the first one day, missed out in the first T20, but looking a lot more controlled here so far. And he is Scotland's most experienced player. Scored 156 not out in a World Cup match against Bangladesh, and has been a strong performer in county cricket, most recently for Northamptonshire. Quick single. And at the top of the order, it is really up to him to try and set the tone for this Scottish side. Haven't had a good start in either of the first 2 games in this tour, so wicket in the first over wasn't ideal, but if these two can at least just set a bit of a platform, get through the 6 overs, just relieve a bit of the pressure on the middle and lower order, we might see a different Scottish outfit today. Better length this time from Hasib. Dot ball. I can see Charlie Burke lurking around the commentary box. Never afraid of a microphone. And good afternoon to you, Charlie.
Afternoon, Max. A little bit cooler today, but good to see that we'll hopefully get the full 20 overs in for both sides.
Yeah, and given it's a 1 o'clock start as opposed to the 4 p.m. yesterday, it's a bit quieter too in the crowd. Everyone's a little bit more subdued. I know there are fewer in here at this stage, but a little less rowdy, shall we say, in the crowd with the on-time start. Bowled inside edge out to deep square, and Izakit will pick that one up.
Well, when you and I were both leaving the ground at about 10 p.m, I think it was last night, there was a few stragglers, maybe woken up, not feeling the best today.
Yeah. I have noticed at the Cow Corner Club it is a 2-day ticket, of course, here that you can purchase, and it is good to see that a few have returned for some more. So enjoyed themselves yesterday.
more of a cautious approach by Scotland at the moment.
Yeah, I was just saying as I was talking to myself before you entered the box, Charlie, that watch his delivery here. Flip to backward square, probably just the one. Yeah, I was just saying that it did look more controlled. And Kyle Kurtzer, who we've seen miss out in the first couple of games, has kept his shape. His shots looks like he's just a little more focused out there today rather than going for the big shots in the first couple of overs, because they haven't given their middle lower order a chance yet. They've been 3 down for not many in the first ODI and the first T20, so looks like they're making an effort despite that early wicket to get their heads down a bit in these first 6 overs.
I think you've seen the better 2020 sides going around in franchise cricket and associate cricket and all that. You've always got to have a top order bat at the end of the innings. It's one thing is obviously the power play at the first 6 overs, but making sure that you've got at least someone from the top 5 or 6 there at the end, and the smaller boundaries straight. If you got wickets in hand, you can certainly fill your boots in the last few overs.
Will we see Tanvir Afzal bowl his 4 straight out here? Will that be what he's looking to do?
Yeah, traditionally that's what he's doing. So obviously 3 in the power play and 1 outside the power play. One of the strengths of the Hong Kong side is obviously the variety in the bowling attack and the quality bowlers they have. We didn't even see Mark Chapman bowl yesterday, who's been opening the bowling even in the shorter format of the game for Auckland.
Onto the leg side and flicked away comfortably by Kyle Kurtzer. He looks like he's up for it here today. And so important to have your senior players in your team do the job for you up front with the bat.
Good to see we had the first round of the Women's Premier League played this morning. It was a curtain raiser. The Bohemians, they won batting first. They got 122, I think. In the
119, I believe.
119.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Max. A few runs out. 119, which was a decent effort actually. It was a good wicket.
Oh, that's big. That'll be 6. So Kyle Kurtzer down into the cow corner club there.
He's almost cleaned up the Cricket Scotland president as well.
He won't mind. He's after putting off that Caribbean cruise to come and watch Scotland play in Hong Kong. The Scotland president will be certainly hoping he can see a victory here from his side today.
Actually, good to see. Well, depends which side of the fence you're on, obviously, but good to see so many Scottish supporters. Actually, there's a few Scottish flags flying around. There's a few in the cow corner, and it's great to have Bruce and Margaret Dixon here as well, supporting the Scotland boys.
Better delivery there from Tanvir Afzal. Kyle Kurtzer is raced to 27 off 13 balls, so giving Scotland the type of platform they've been looking for. I think he was lining up third boundary there.
It's probably just gone, again yesterday we saw it as well, just probably a touch too full, Tanvir, particularly with such straight boundaries, short straight boundaries.
Again goes full. Gets away with it this time. Kurtzer miscues. So 1 ball to go in this over. Sure, some of the Hong Kong boys will be hoping for a bat in this game as well. Haven't been able to. It was really only Nizakat and Ansherman who spent any length of time in the middle in the one-day international. Yeah, safe, just 1. But and only by winning by 9 wickets in the first T20i, there'll be a few Hong Kong batsmen pretty itchy for a hit, I'd have thought, Charlie.
Yeah, the guys were very early at the ground today, and they sort of put their kit bags down and they were straight over to the nets and having a hit. So it was, I think that's a fairly good indication and a sign that the middle order, the Hong Kong middle order, certainly wants to have a hit. Well, they do and they don't you? It's one of those interesting ones. You kind of, obviously you play the game because you want to get out there and get involved. And but yeah, they were here very early this morning, the Hong Kong boys.
Here's a guy was looking forward to watching bowl. Really enjoyed watching Aziz go about his work in the couple of games in this series. He's come on first change and really backed up the opening bowl as well. And just this has a knack of picking up wickets.
Yeah, loves a wicket off his first ball. Also saw yesterday he was hitting that length, was hitting that back of a length. I think he'll be doing the same here as well. We've got a deep square and a third man for him. So actually, sorry, the third man's come up. It's now long off. The skipper's gone back to long off and a deep square.
Yeah. Oh, that could be 6, and it is. So not a wicket off the first ball today for Aziz. He's in fact been deposited over the fence. Well done, Charlie. Put the mocker on him.
Commentator's curse.
That does perhaps stem from putting that long off back, having to go fuller. Changing up from that length he had yesterday, which was just back of a length. Couldn't really afford to bowl there with the field he had.
Yeah, now they've brought
Dropped
long on. Yeah, they've dropped long on bat and brought long off up. I would go a third man and deep square and get him to hit that deck nice and hard.
More the length. Nizak at fields. Yeah, a deep backward square. So Kyle Kurtz continuing to rattle along here. And Matthew Cross doesn't need to do much at the moment. Just try and knock the singles around. Kurtz is striking the ball sweetly. Kurtz are now 29 off just 16 deliveries. In fact, that single took him to 30 off 17. 1 for 33 in the 5th over. That's that length you're talking about, Charlie.
Absolutely, and you can see the options you've really got is obviously square of the wicket if he drops it a bit shorter, or if you give any sort of width as third man. So they're going to be your hot spots if he's going to be bowling in those areas. It's going to be a risky shot to go down the ground on that length.
As you can see, he's running into a pretty stiff breeze there, as is. A real strong gust just coming up as he went to run in there.
Saw the umpires having a look at the bails actually before. I think we've got the heavy bails out there because it is a fairly breezy afternoon in Hong Kong.
Full ball, punch through the covers. Oops, slight fumble there, but it won't cost them anything. Just 2 runs there to Matthew Cross. The outfield not as quick as it normally is, given the rain that's fallen over the last couple of weeks, as we said yesterday in commentary. The wettest, well, Charlie calls it ever, wettest January ever in Hong Kong. It's actually since 1880 something. That's close enough to ever in our books.
For everyone listening, that is the wettest January ever.
Full ball, that's got to be close. Must have been angling down the leg side. It was very full.
He gets pretty wide on the crease, Azars, and he has that tendency to sort of push them a bit leg side. And obviously the umpire's looking at the angle as well, the fact that he's so wide on the crease at delivery, and it's just a natural sort of angle for him. Doesn't often pick up too many LBWs as a result of that.
Slower ball, I think. Pushed out to deep mid wicket. That's well done from Bubba Hyatt out there. Normally in the ring, Bubba, isn't he?
No, often thrown back at that long on position. He's just got he's quick, We've just seen that then. A terrific bit of fielding actually on the boundary and a good throw as well. It was almost a direct hit from the boundary, but he's got very good hands, very safe hands.
So it will be Tanvir to bowl his third over. A few fans in the crowd there.
Mentioning Bubba, there's his father on the left of screen, enjoying the cricket, which is great to see.
He's come appropriately dressed too with the beanie.
Can't buy experience.
There are still people coming in here. It has, since the match commenced, maybe another 50 or so people have come in to encourage you, if you're in the Hong Kong area, to come down. It's not every day the Hong Kong national team hosts international cricket. And if you're talking about the last couple of weeks, it's not every day you get on the field. Short ball in the air. But a quick single for Kurtzer. I don't think Tanvir Afsar will mind too much getting Kurtzer off strike.
Not at all, and it's the last over the power play, so it's going to be a big over here for both teams. Often you see a wicket in the last over in a power play. The team's just trying to take final advantage of the fielders up inside the ring, and I reckon they'll be targeting Tanvir here. He's been bowling a bit fuller, so they're certainly going to be looking to hit him over the sight screen and look to hit him straight, I'd say.
Full ball, and that's smacked. And that'll be 4. Yeah, unfortunately, just over pitching slightly there, Tanvir. Paid the penalty. In these power plays, will Hong Kong be thinking about trying to keep Kurtzer off strike normally in this situation, or are you just worried about the delivery, or is it a genuine tactic to push back in the ring and get a different batsman on strike in this power play? Well, maybe not, because Matt Cross is warming up too now. That was a very good shot. Tanvir Afsar didn't do much wrong on that occasion. Matthew Cross was just up to it, backed away, gave himself some room and off a length.
He's just going too full. I mean, you might as well drop both long on and long off back and bring your deep square in, which actually I think he's doing right now. I think Nadeem Ahmed, who is out at deep square, is now coming inside the ring. So he's got long on and long off back. If you're going to bowl that full in a power play and use your two fielders outside the ring, you have to protect that straight boundary, or at least give yourself the best chance of protecting it.
It's going to be 4 more. So 3 boundaries in a row there for Matthew Cross. And Scotland will be very happy now with how this first power play is going. These two just took their time a little bit. Didn't panic when the score was only 7 after 2 overs. Since that time have put the foot down after having a look at a couple.
Yeah, you don't often
score on to 50.
Yeah, you don't often see Tanvir get cut, I can say that. It's probably another
4 boundaries in a row. Great shot going for the Yorker. Cross managed to get underneath it. So that's 54 for 1 now. This is proving to be an expensive over.
Most
a great
teams,
one for Scotland.
Yeah, well, most teams will target sort of 45 plus in the power play. Anything over that's usually a bonus. Obviously a slightly smaller straight. But I think that's a decent power play for Scotland. They've given themselves a good platform here.
Swing and a miss. Tanvir will be pretty happy to get through with the dot ball there. 17 runs from that over. It's the end of the power play. Scotland 1 for 54.
Just going back to that Women's Premier League game this morning, we had the Bohemians won with a score of 119. I have checked, Max, you're spot on. And kept the Sale team to restricted them to only 90. Actually bowled them out in the 19th over, I think it was. With Natural Yip, it's returned to form, got 56 not out, opened the innings for the Bohemians and batted all the way through and got the player of the match.
I was very impressed with the standard of that match. It was the first women's game I've seen in Hong Kong, domestic match. Some very talented girls on display in that fixture. Saw Mariko Hill from the Melbourne Renegades opening the bowling. Bowls with decent pace. Single there to Kyle Kurtzer.
He's got your traditional 5 out for a quick. He's got fine leg up. You got your third man, you got your sweeper, your long off, your long on, and your deep backward square. So it's pretty traditional field for your seamers with outside the power play. Got Mark Chapman there, backward point. He's obviously very strong on his left side, being a left-hander, so he's giving himself a bit of room there.
Yorker. Saw Azaz bowl terrific Yorkers at the death in the first T20 International.
Impressed with the Scotland batting so far in this innings. I think they've got the right frame of mind. I think they've learnt a lot from yesterday because proper cricket shots today. Some absolutely tremendous strike into the ball and some quality cricket shots. So good to see. This will be a good tussle today.
Full ball, good bowling from Azaz, who just realises that Scotland are pretty hot here at the moment and they just got to try and pull things back and break their rhythm up. A couple of Yorkers, maybe a couple of slower balls as well. You can see Ansham and Rath starting to limber up at mid-wicket. I think it won't be long before we see the spin.
It's going to be a similar wicket to yesterday afternoon. I reckon the spinners will get it more skidding on the surface.
And as soon as you go length, you disappear. That's out of here. Another 6 for Kyle Kurtzer.
That's in the caterers area there. Hopefully hasn't knocked any of our lasagna off.
Yeah, right. The catering's been outstanding, actually, Charlie. I think you organised the caterers here. Zebra Tasty, been very impressed with their work here. Also helping out with the Cow Corner Club. Full ball, and that's into the gap. That's 1 bounce, 2 bounces, 4. So Kyle Kurtzer here, he's on fire. He's raced here to 41 off just 21 deliveries.
Seen the kids around the ground today with the official tournament shirts on, thanks to Zotti. The young kids around the boundary, the ball boys. Hong Kong Cricket Club have been kind enough to arrange that for us. So a big thank you to Jasmine and Scott and everyone at Hong Kong Cricket Club for organising the ball boys.
Is it the out the back of the hand one, Charlie? Is that his main slower ball, Azaz?
Yeah, I think then it was just an off-cutter, actually. I think he just sort of slowed his arm down and tried to bowl the off-cutter, but it may have actually got a nick on there as well, I think, but it obviously didn't carry to Jamie Atkinson, the Hong Kong keeper. We've got a change of bowler here, Max.
Looks like Ansham and Rath. The numberless Ansham and Rath.
He's trying to...
grounded out, so won't be happy with that.
Trying to go undercover here. Good ploy.
Hey, boy.
Roger Federer fan there in the middle. The Fed went down to the Joker in the Australian Open.
Crowd is building up. It's nice to see. Hopefully we get a similar crowd to what we had yesterday. Just while I get this opportunity, a big thank you to all the volunteers as well. We've had volunteers from the HKCA Dragons team and also the women's squad as well have been kind enough to stick around and help out. So a big thank you to all our volunteers.
So good batting from Matthew Cross. Kyle Kurtzer back on strike. Not that he's been sluggish himself. Just a quick run through of the scores here. Kyle Kurtzer currently 41 off 22 balls. Matthew Cross 25 off 18 balls. Kyle Kurtzer's hit 3 sixes. Wishing to see if he can be as effective against the spin as he was against the quicks.
Good to see Nazaka just trying to rally the troops a little bit, get a bit more energy out there. Just gone a little bit quiet maybe out in the field there, but Nazaka trying to spur them on a little bit.
Let's cut away, quick single, safely home. So Charlie, as a director of cricket here in Hong Kong, the tour itself is the last game of the Braidwood Cup series, which of course is the what both teams are playing for, taking into account all the matches as part of the tour. How do you assess it? What has it done for cricket in Hong Kong?
Yeah, it's been, I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say it's been frustrating obviously with the weather. Not that a lot that we can do about it, but it's been frustrating with the amount of rain we've had. But certainly for Hong Kong cricket, I mean, it's the first time that we've obviously hosted international cricket, certainly at this level, outside of the Sixers and those other events that we've held. But the first, I suppose you say, real international cricket. It's been great, and the support of the government and the likes.
Single there to Matthew Cross.
Yeah, the support of the governments and just everyone chipping in. All the cricket clubs have really supported this event, and I know it's people say couldn't do it without you sort of attitude, but it's been absolutely that. It's if we didn't have the cricket club support, both Hong Kong Cricket Club, Kowloon Cricket Club, for the
of course.
Yeah, with the training facilities at both those, and also what they've lent some extra resources and equipment, including the ground staff here. They've obviously allowed us to use some of their ground staff. Then you've mentioned Craigengow Cricket Club, who hosted both teams at a fabulous cocktail reception earlier in the week after the ODI, and then USRC, United Services Rec Club, and all the clubs have all chipped in some shape or form. So that's been really important. And just talking to a few of the government officials and LCSD staff and that, I think they're very keen to, push that a little bit harder and continue to support us, which is what we need, particularly when it comes to facilities. And we're not going to lie, that's probably our biggest challenge at the moment is trying to get better facilities and more facilities.
Yeah, well, these sort of series. And proving that Hong Kong are able to host them successfully are obviously vital to gaining those. So a big step made forward here in the last 10 days, especially with the amount of support in the crowd, particularly yesterday. Oh, that's up in the air. And he's taken it. It's Nazakat Khan out there who takes the catch. And Matthew Cross looking to clear the fence has fallen. That looked like it was Nadeem Ahmed's. In his first over, has picked up a wicket.
Yeah, first ball, isn't it?
Yeah, first ball.
It's I know if Ryan Campbell's watching right now, the Hong Kong batting coach, he'd be furious. It's one thing that you talk a lot about. Doesn't matter what format it is, how important that first ball of a new bowler. Not saying that you don't put a bad ball away, but you've just got to make sure that you do watch it. Just get used to the different paces, particularly when you're changing from a seam up to a spinner.
Sounds like Jed's arrived, the ground announcer.
Someone's
stuck
arrived.
in a bit of traffic on the way here, but he's got the music going now. Charlie and I are nodding our heads along. They're not quite into it yet, but won't be long.
Yeah, I think might be the president, Mr. Rodney Miles. It might be his collection, I think, of music.
Matt Machin is coming into bat. Forward, quick single taken there by Kyle Kurtzer. Mark Chapman very quick coming across a direct hit. Would have been very close there. Charlie saying out.
Absolutely barbecued.
Yep.
If he'd direct hit there.
Could have been a Diamondi there for Matt Machin, who be looking for a few runs. Has missed out in a couple of games on tour so far, but right now in the middle is Scotland's 2 leading run scorers from the 2015 World Cup.
Well, the thing is as well, it's the Hong Kong boys will know this is a big innings here, because Matt Machin is a seriously talented cricketer, and he's obviously on the Sussex list, and I think you don't often see a batsman of his calibre not score runs. So there's a big innings here, and I have no doubt we'll see some decent bit of batting display here from Matt Machin.
Mark, first job done for him. So Kyle Kurtz, he's on 43 at the moment off 25 balls. Hong Kong have done a bit better the last couple of overs just to get him off strike. Oh, well bowled. That was a peach from Nadeem Ahmed. Kurtz is going along pretty nicely, and just to beat him on the outside edge there. Very good delivery. Absolute
Jaffa, that. Just again, it's that we saw it on the surface the other yesterday in the 10 over a side match. That it can really kick on the surface.
Have it out to Nizakat Khan.
Interesting to see, Max. The Papua New Guinea Island I-Cup match. They play was delayed due to rain in Townsville, of all places. That place hasn't rained for 5 years.
Well, no, I think it can get wet there. It usually gets a few storms in Townsville, especially at this time of year. This is the tropical climate there. It is the wetter of the 2 seasons. So I know you're more of a West Coast man than an East Coast, but my knowledge would say that a bit of rain's possible.
You've just completely shut me down there.
I have, yeah. I tried to do it politely, but I was just shutting you down.
Well, I was told from my resources, or my sources, I should say.
What resources do you have?
The sources that have told me is that the dam in Townsville was only at 15%.
Well, that is a damning statistic. So delayed or cancelled? What's delayed? I haven't seen that score. So
just an hour and a half delayed, mate.
Delayed. Ajman Rath on here, and that's going to be 6. So Kyle Kurtzer, and that's his 50. Kyle Kurtzer. I don't know if he knows it yet or his teammates, but my resources, as you would say, Charlie, would suggest he's 50. Here we go. He's getting the acknowledgement from his teammates there. The Scottish boys. Something to
effortless
about
50
here today.
Almost.
It's the most effortless 50 off 29 balls you'll see. And he's smacked that straight out to Nadeem Ahmed. So 2 for 81 here at the moment. We're into the 10th over. So Scotland very well placed here to post a competitive target. I dare say they'll be aiming over 160.
Yeah, I think they'd be disappointed with 160, Max. I think.
What's par, Charlie?
I'd say 180. I think it's a good
par of 180.
I'd say. I think it's a good surface. It's a better surface than what we had the ODI in. Obviously a better surface than we had yesterday. Ground's in good nick. Players have had a bit of time to adjust with the ODI and the hit around yesterday and the other T20i. I think we're set for a big one here.
Rathwell bowled, saw Machin coming and was able to just pull his length back at the last moment.
Just trying to overhit. We saw this in the game yesterday. Obviously we didn't see much of Machin in the ODI, but He's just trying to overhit here. He just needs to learn from the other batsman and just...
Well, Kyle Kurtzer did come down and have a word to him there, perhaps just saying, listen mate, I'm 50 off 28 balls here, just get me on strike. Benjamin Rath doing a good job in this over after being hit for 6 on the first delivery. He's pulled it back well. And this is in the air, might be in the gap, and the commentator's curse strikes again. It's 9 for 4. I just had a feeling as soon as I said that he pulled it back well with a ball to go in the over that somehow I would be made to eat my words, and I was. So well done, Matt Machin.
Good to see young Rath getting some advice there from Mark Chapman, both of them left arm spinners and left arm top order bats, having a chat there about a few things. It's good to see. I'm always obviously put the coaching hat on there. I love seeing that. I think it's really important in a team environment to have a good sensible conversation from a senior player, and good to see.
So 2 for 85 after 10 overs for Scotland. Well on track for Charlie Burke's pass score of 180. Just in between balls here, we'll just do a quick rundown of the scorecard. As Nadeem Ahmed comes into Kyle Kurtzer. Kurtzer is in the air. This could be taken. Oh, it's gone for 6. It was a good attempt. Stuck the mid up. Who's it out there, Charlie? Can't quite make it out.
It's Wackis Barcat, former vice captain. He's one of the better fielders in the side. I think he just missed time though. I don't think he realised that it looked like he had a bit more room behind him with the boundary. I think he'd probably crept in a bit more than he thought, and probably had a bit more time as well. But he's an athletic fielder. You don't often see that from Wackars. He's got a good pair of hands there.
Well, the end result was another 6 for Kyle Kurtzer.
Loves it full, doesn't he? Yeah. Kyle Kurtzer.
He hit a 6 off the first ball of the over. The last couple of overs now. Takes the pressure off yourself. Slows that one up, and Kurtzer says thank you very much, and he puts him over the fence, and that will be a lost ball.
Yep, that cricket shop at the bottom of those apartments is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, delivery for apartment 1A down there. Might be a bit of confusion as to Kookaburra turf balls down there. So Scotland, this is a fantastic start for them now. 2 for 97, just 2 balls bowled in the 11th over. So Kyle Kurtzer on track for 100 here if he can hang around a bit longer. He's now raced to 64 off just 32 balls. He's hit 6 sixes. Nadeem Ahmed pulls his length back nicely there. I think that's a good change up.
Definitely the arm ball there. It's his go-to ball, often under pressure there, but executes it well. Great to see I think the junior cricket's finished for the day, so a lot more kids coming inside the ground at the moment.
Angles that one down late, that'll be a wide. So yeah, George Munsey was dismissed, 3rd ball of the innings. Hasib Amjad picked up from where he left off in the first T20 international. Should just be a single. Scotland win at 1 for none. Then a 71-run partnership between Kurtzer and Matthew Cross. Cross eventually caught out in the boundary at deep mid-wicket from Nadeem Ahmed's first ball. 27 off 21 deliveries. Kyle Kurtzer's unbeaten on 65 off 34 balls. Matt Machin, who just knocked that one down to long on, just still feeling his way. 6 off 7 balls. Scotland 2 for 99. The ball to go. If my calculations are correct. In fact, that's the end of the over.
Break the century, loss of 2 wickets at the end of the 11th over.
So good to see a few fans still pouring in here. The boundary line on the apartment side of the ground is certainly starting to fill up. And I would say we're about halfway to where we were yesterday. 2 for 100. Some of the young Chinese kids coming into the ground.
Yeah, we've got this school down actually, Max, a group of young Chinese kids there from mainland China, of part of our commitment to development in the region. We do a lot of work with China cricket, and great to see one of the schools not too far from the border have come across and come down for today's match, and have also playing 2 games here, tomorrow and Wednesday, organised by our development staff. So it's great to have them. This will be the first time that they've ever seen live cricket at this level. So we welcome them along. It's great to see. It's crucial for the game to have countries such as China growing and developing, and we're certainly playing our part as much as we can. Just trying to find the pace of the wicket at the moment, Matt Machin.
It's up in the air. This should be taken by Nadeem Ahmed. And there we go. So that was Matt Machin just was feeling his way out there, wasn't he? He couldn't quite get his timing. Tanvir Afzal has come back, left himself an over and come back. And managed to pick up a wicket. And Hong Kong did just need a wicket there.
Yeah, they did. It's a good player, Matt Machin. I was looking forward to him coming over here for this tour. He certainly will go back not too happy about his performances. He's a very classy cricketer, so I'm sure he'll be disappointed about his results throughout this tour, but he'll be heading back to England, no doubt, and having the pre-season with Sussex. I do believe Scotland have got a tour to the UAE on the way back, a few T20 internationals to prepare for the World T20, where both these sides will be playing against each other, both in the same group, Hong Kong and Scotland. I think it's the third game in that group. Obviously, the Hong Kong side will compete in the T20 Asia Cup qualifiers, which is held in Dhaka. They leave on the 17th of February and will be heading off to the T20 Asia Cup qualifiers before heading on to the World T20. So it's not just important, obviously it's a T20i, they're all important, but I think it's also important for obviously just that sort of, got one over each other if you can go into the World T20, and obviously you're going to play each other in the group, in the first round group stage anyway. So important for both teams here to perform well.
Tanvir Afzal continuing. Richie Berrington on strike. No runs, so Tanvir Afzal coming up with a good over here. Scotland just need to pull things back. Hong Kong just need to pull things back a little bit. Scotland really rattled along the previous few overs. Kyle Kurtzer hit 6 sixes. 3 of those were in the 2 overs before this one. Tanvir Afzal heading his length there, run out chance. Just a little bit of hesitation. Score moves under 3 for 102, and Kurtzer now back on strike. He managed to hit Tanvir Afzal a couple of times over his head in his first spell, and I imagine he'll be eyeing off similar treatment here. It's been a vital innings from the Scotland vice-captain. And he goes for the dab to third man. The third man was up. Just needed to get some batter on ball, but missed it. Great over there from Tanvir Afzal. 102 for 3, Scotland after 12 overs.
Hong Kong. 2 runs, 1 wicket. Scotland now 102 for 3.
So great over there, just the 2 runs off it. A very special guest, much more special than Charlie Burke, entering the commentary box here. Mariko Hill, who just as recently spent time in with the Melbourne Renegades. Welcome.
Hello, good to be here. Bit unexpected for a call-up, but Charlie Burke, of course.
Have you been in a commentary box before?
No, I haven't actually.
No?
No.
Have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, definitely, it's been good. Been like.
I'll put you on the spot there. So you played this morning in their first ever Women's Premier League game. How'd
Yeah.
that go?
Oh, really well actually. It was the first time actually having a proper women's game with the best 22 players. So of course it was a bit of a challenge, which was always good to have sort of that kind of competition in Hong Kong. And definitely we need more players coming in, of course, for a bit of competition, but who knows.
So what's next for the women's national team? Just to be wait
Good
for this delivery here.
question. Right now I'm not too sure. But I think there are 3 tournaments coming up this year, in
Yep.
fact. And I think Japan and China are going to come to Hong Kong, and hopefully we'll have a good triangular series or something.
Now tell me about Melbourne Renegades. How was that experience? Obviously being from Australia myself, I imagine you had a very good time down there
of course,
in Australia, but tell us a bit about that experience.
Well, I can only say it's been amazing. Every time I go down to Melbourne, I think it's my 4th time, but this one was a special one. Meeting all the international players, getting to know them well, and also professional coaches as well. Karen Rolton actually played for Australia, so of course having her perspective of the game was always a good. Oh, that's a good ball. Yeah, it was good having different perspectives.
Yeah, and what about the team and the training down there? It must have felt like you're really part of something special with the WBBL.
Oh,
actually
yeah.
getting quite a lot of interest down in Australia.
Well, it was unfortunate because training was scheduled to be on a Monday, and that was actually right after our 4-game series, sort of,
Okay.
on the weekend. So that was cancelled on the Monday.
Short ball, and it's been hammered into the gap. Hold that thought, Mariko. And as Kyle Kurtz's destruction here is continuing. Just dropping slightly short there, Zaz, and as you can see, the score there moved on to 107.
He must be close to his 50, isn't he?
He's past his 50.
Oh, is he?
That's all right. I know you've been in the Cow Corner Club over there.
I have.
Plenty of social discussions going on. Short ball's up in the air, miscued. Nizakat's getting around. He's called it and taken. So good catch from Nizakat. That's his second for the day, and that is Kyle Kurtzer, who's heading back to the dressing room. A fantastic innings from him. He's fallen for 74, and Scotland now 107 for 4. So Mariko, do you know some of these? You train much with the male players. There's a lot of interaction between the women's and men's squad.
Unfortunately, not as close as other teams. I would like to get to a stage where we are actually quite close, and I'm sure that's going to happen soon with all these curtain raisers and events going on. But yeah, there is a good bond between the players, of course.
And you yourself, your own performances, happy with where you're at? What's your big goal for the next couple of years?
Well, the Big Bash was sort of my pinnacle, to be honest. Possibly a call-up would be the best option.
I understand there's a little bit of confusion before the last game. You have a chance to play in that last game down there.
Yeah, well, not the last game. It was against the Sydney Sixers, and Danny Wyatt got hit on the elbow, so she missed out a game.
Yeah.
And for the contract, only if an international player gets injured, I can play.
Yeah.
And it was all a bit last minute.
So we'd like to go and do something like that again.
Yeah.
With
Who
one of
knows?
the Big Bash franchises, if possible. And how about the standard down there compared to here? How wide is the gap, say, between Australian women's cricket and women's cricket here?
I reckon there is a big gap.
Yeah.
I definitely felt it, and playing and bowling against these amazing players can really hit the ball hard. But of course, I think what we lack here is someone like a player in Melbourne to show what the standard should be like. So of course, all the girls playing for Hong Kong have potential, but it's just that we don't really have that depth that could potentially happen if we had more international players coming in and be helping out.
What about events potentially like the Hong Kong Sixers, possibly later in the year with a women's tournament? Could be an exciting
I'd love that.
venture. Got
Will that
Action
happen, do you
Rath here.
think?
I think it's going to happen. Yeah, that's my prediction. I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't really matter what I think necessarily, Marika, but I think speaking to many here in Hong Kong, they're very keen to bring it back. And it's such a popular event. Whenever you're around the street talking to anyone,
Even if you don't know cricket,
people know about the
the
Sixers.
atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah. So it's any event that can bring about the promotion of cricket in Hong Kong is a good one. And that's put away from Preston Momsen, the Scotland captain. Slightly short down the leg side from Anshman Rath. And the skipper just put it away pretty comfortably. So Scotland now 4 for 111. We're into the 14th over. Rico, any score predictions? You want to put your nose on the line here? What do you reckon? 4 for 111. We got just under 7 overs to go.
Ooh, 165.
165, okay.
Quite specific, but that's my
No,
prediction.
that's fair enough. Charlie Burke was going 180 earlier.
Yeah. Well, how many wickets down are we now? 4?
4 down.
Yeah.
4 down.
I'm not too sure how many batsmen
They bat deep.
they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, 180 would be a good one.
Oh, a nasty one there for Jamie Atkinson. Is that going to be a wide? Yes, it is. I'm going to go. I'm going to make a really specific prediction. I'm going to go 189.
Ooh,
189 from here.
that's high.
And this time Preston Momsen just knocks it softly into the mid-wicket region, and that is just so he can
Good
pick
running.
up 2 runs. So very intelligent batting there from the Scotland captain. He's building a nice little over here with the boundary off the first ball. He's now picked up 2 here. So 114 for the score. Premeditated sweep. Not sure if he got any bat on it, but it's going to run away for 4. And yes, he did. So 4 more to Preston Momsen. This is proving to be a nice little over here.
I reckon your prediction might be right, actually.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know,
That's right.
I am leading the commentary team. I need to have it right. And what about the improvement in Hong Kong women's cricket? It seems like it's something that's definitely moving in a forwards direction. In your time being involved here, what are the noticeable changes to you?
Well, we finally have a solid squad that properly train and are committed every week. And I can definitely see, from coming back from Australia, the difference in standards. And I think Charlie, who is the head coach now, can see that as well after today's game in the morning. That's a good sign.
Well, yeah, I watched a fair bit of the game, and I was very impressed with the standard. I thought. Particularly, you're in the which side were you? You were the
Bohemia.
Bohemias. So, and I did notice the Bohemians batted quite well.
Natural winning player of the match. I think she got 58 runs or so.
Yeah. Looked like you were bowling at decent pace out there.
yeah. I'd like to show them a bit.
Yeah. So the girls, they get scared facing you?
I think they're used to me now.
Yeah.
After all the net sessions, and of course playing on turf, it's a bit slower.
As the women's captain just walks past us here, Emma Lai. Anything to say, Emma? Shaking her head. Now that is the beauty of having that curtain raise up here prior to this match. Most of the women's squad all here at the ground watching the men play, and likewise the men got here nice and early this morning and caught the end of the women's fixture. Nadeem Ahmed here. Scotland 4 for 122. A big appeal. Thought about it for a moment, the umpire. Preston Momsen survives. Had a long think about it.
Still thinking.
He looks like he is still thinking. He did have a good stride in though. We are sitting side on. It was Sarika Prasad, the umpire at Nadeem Ahmed's end. Well bowled. So 4 for 122 in the 15th over. Mariko's gone with 165 as a predicted score. I've gone 189, Charlie Burke 180.
How many does Nadeem have to bowl? How many does he have left?
That's a good question. Put me on the spot. Now he's into his third over here. His third over. Figures of 1 for 19 at the moment. And he's just mixing his pace up really well here. Seen him slow a couple down. That occasion darting it in. So have you been able to bowl at most of the men's squad? Have you managed to sneak into the net sessions and
No,
knock a few
actually.
over?
Maybe that's my next step.
I think so. Need to put them in their place.
I do bowl against some of them in the Sunday League.
Yeah.
But I don't play that often because women prioritise, of course.
Yeah. So Anshman Rath to continue here. Still haven't seen Mark Chapman get a bowl in this series yet. False start. Not sure what happened there. Looks like someone maybe hanging around behind the side screen. How'd you find the wicket played in the women's match earlier?
Quite well, actually. It was bouncing surprisingly.
Single there to Preston Momsen. So had a bit of carry, a bit of pace
Yeah,
in
it did,
it.
and with the weather in the past week, so there's been a bit of movement. My slower ball off the back of my hand actually spun from leg to off stump.
That's impressive.
So
So you're calling that the surface, not your
yeah,
skill?
exactly.
Dot ball there. Run rate for Scotland just dropping here. Hong Kong just been able to pull things back. We're going along about 10 and over after 8-9 overs. And just as I say that, I put another curse on. That is massive. Richie Berrington, that's over into the softball court, so
yeah.
over the back of the ground here. I'm calling that the shot of the day.
Still an innings left, though.
There is still innings left. Well, so far, can't predict the future. But that's been at least 3 times now where I've indicated in commentary that one thing is happening, and then the run rate's being pulled back, and then the Scottish batsman has stepped up and hit a 6.
Yeah.
Takes the score to 130 as the third umpire comes on with some spare balls, because that one was hit not only out of this ground, there was a pathway behind it, went over that pathway and into the softball courts, which looked like they were pretty busy this morning. Plenty of games going on over there. This is Anchman Rath's last over. It's a better line in at leg stump. .4 overs now, none for 38. Anchman Rath. You can see Hasib warming up at short fine. Won't be long before he's back into the action. Wide. Better over here for Scotland.
I used to actually play with Anchi back in the day.
What's he like?
He used to be a keeper, in fact.
Big appeal and given. Well, I think that has surprised Captain Preston Mompson. He is not happy. Looking back at the umpire, there was a woody sound from here, but in the eyes, umpire Tabarak, he was pad first. Anchman Rath looks like he's got a slight wry smile on his face there. So he used to be a wicket keeper.
Yes, he was, in fact.
He's found his way to bowling. Was he not much good at that, so went to bowling, or?
Well, I'm not too sure, actually. Obviously, batting is his key role.
Yeah. He's batted beautifully in this series so far.
He has, yeah.
97 and unbeaten 20. You can see the school kids have rugged up in the grandstand there. The Cow Corner Club, the boys are just starting to warm up there as well. Good crowd in here. It has built since the first delivery. It's probably doubled since the first ball was bowled. Hopefully with Hong Kong batting this afternoon, a few more will come down. About 600-700 in yesterday. That crowd figure, of course, not official. So it must be a nice feeling for you to see international cricket being played here, to be able to come down and watch an official one-day international, official T20 international at a ground that's approved for that level of cricket.
Surprisingly, 3 years ago, I'd say Mission Road wouldn't have been a ground that you'd pick to play an international game. But of course, they've done a great job. Now the outfield's so smooth. So I'm glad Scotland's here.
Yeah.
Hopefully England or something will come
England?
back. Well, who knows? Hong Kong did play them in Dubai, didn't they?
Yeah. And were, all reports, very competitive for a large part of that game before England kicked away. So we've got a new batsman in here for Scotland. It's Callum McLeod, who got 57 in the first one-day international. Bats a bit lower down the order in the T20s. He's bowled some part-time off-spin as well. Goes full, and Callum McLeod just knocks him down the ground for a single. This should be a very good game, this one. I think obviously yesterday Scotland's score was well under par, making 66 from 10 overs, but at 134 for 5 with basically a one delivery less than 4 overs to go, you would think they're going to have a very competitive score here.
Yeah.
Goes full, and Richie Berrington feeling pretty good after hitting one into the softball courts last over. So now to deep mid off. So there's plenty of, I imagine there'd be plenty of team spirit amongst the girls in the team. You get socialise and things together as well. Is it a tight-knit group?
Oh yeah, for sure. You probably saw them on screen actually a few minutes ago. We're all from the same team.
Yep.
Willow Wilders, Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Get competitive amongst each of these sort of games in the dressing rooms? Is there a bit of competition in that dressing room? Or?
Not just yet.
Not just yet?
Well, it's the first game.
Yeah.
First game back, so...
In general, when you're playing in the national team?
That's true, yeah. We do have a bit of a bowling competition.
Yeah.
Who can do the most bounces and hit the heads, you know?
Yeah. And when it rains, a bit of keepy-uppies, things like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Although we are quite awful at that game.
Okay. The old full toss on leg stump's got a wicket for Hasib. And I think Callum McLeod will be pretty disappointed with that. It was,
that came off quite quickly.
Yeah, it was. He middled it, but just sort of helped it. It's on its way straight round the corner. And that's the 6th wicket to fall for Scotland. They do bat deep. Rob Taylor, next man in, has hit the ball cleanly so far in this series. Got a bit of a bonus wicket there for Hasib Amjad. I'm sure he wasn't intending the full toss on leg stump. And Charlie Burke just checking in on us. So Scotland, for that wicket now, 135 for 6. Just needing that big over here to try and kick up, Marie.
165 is, yeah, right
189, it's looking unlikely, you would have to say. Full ball, good shot there from Rob Taylor down to mid-on for a single. Mark Chapman out there doing the fielding. Yeah, 136, so 1 ball to go, and then there's 3 overs. 165 is looking right on the money. Might just let you take the rest of the game. So if you do want to speak to us, then you can tweet us at Cricket HK, excuse me. Could be a wide it is. Yeah, tweet us in at Cricket HK. We'll answer any of your questions. I think there's actually a photo of us there, Marie. Didn't realise that.
Oh, tagging the Renegades as well.
Yeah. In the commentary box. But if you've got any questions for Mariko or myself, I don't know why you'd want to ask me a question, but if you want to ask me, you can. Slow ball. We've picked it. And a bit on. So Richie Barrington's timing the ball nicely. Good to see the tweeter Verinder Sehwag fan tweeting in, saying he's expecting a Bubba Hyatt tsunami today.
He did hit that massive 6 yesterday.
He did.
Finished off the innings.
Yeah, it was a good way to bring up the victory. It's that video you can actually watch on the Hong Kong Facebook page. You see it's clipped up there. It's good to see last night, from a Hong Kong perspective anyway, the England Cricket Board getting stuck into Scotland a little bit.
Did they?
Oh, I rated this as a slightly teasing remark. Just bringing up the tweet they did send out last night. Cricket HK thrashed Scotland in a one-sided T20 international from the official ECB.
Well, it was a
Twitter
T10,
account.
I think.
So they didn't miss. Nadeem Ahmed bowling here, just a bit short, but it's only going to be one. Nizak Khan, nothing gets past him in the outfield. And since Kyle Kurtzer was dismissed, Scotland just haven't quite been able to keep that run rate going. Rico, got a few fans surrounding the tent here, asking for shout-outs. Who was that there, just waving furiously at you?
That's in fact Marina Lamplow.
Marina Lamplow. She looks very excited to see you in commentary. She's got the camera out. Clearly a big fan of yours.
She's one of a kind, I'd say.
Okay. She'll be watching the replay of the stream later, trying to find that bit where we talked about her. And well bowled. To be close. Excellent bowling from Nadeem Ahmed. He's been very economical so far today. Just gone for the 21 runs. 3 balls to go. And that'll be out, is it? No, he's kept his back foot in.
Foot was in.
No, he's given.
What?
What's happened there?
Caught
Must have
behind.
nicked it, I suppose. So he's certainly done us as commentators here. What did you think happened there, Mariko?
I thought it would be a stumping, to be honest, but
Well, given the bowler's
He's
end
walking
umpire has given it, you would
yeah.
have to assume that he's nicked it. So certainly beaten us here in the commentary box. But that's 7 for 140 now. So Scotland just haven't quite kicked on. They were 2 for 100 after 11 overs. So the last, plenty of jumpers out and around the ground, as you can see on your screen there. It says it's 17 degrees. I don't know if it feels 17 degrees.
It definitely does feel like 12, I'd say.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for the fielders, actually.
Probably even a bit colder when you were playing this morning. That could be a wide. It is. Hong Kong, that's the 7th wide that Hong Kong have bowled, so I'm sure they won't be too happy with that. They didn't bowl one in the first T20 International. It was reduced to 10 overs a side. Flights one up in the air and taken. Simple as you like to Mark Chapman there at short cover. Nadeem Ahmed picks up his, well, I'm going to say that's his 3rd wicket.
Yeah.
And Scotland unfortunately just can't seem to find the boundary here. At risk of falling to a below par total. Certainly my prediction of 189.
Might be all out
well
soon.
Out of reach. That's also the end of the over. So 8 for 141 now. Scotland. That was Safian Sharif, who fell first ball there. Mark Watt, the man who's just gone out to the crease. I see Bamjad. Scotland will be hoping they can finish this innings off here.
He does have a pretty good Yorker.
So that's your prediction for ball 1 here, Rico. Yorker.
Ooh, yeah. Let's see how that goes.
Predicts correctly. Doesn't quite hit it in the perfect spot, but good enough to only go for 1. But well done, Mariko. You're nailing everything in here so far. Mariko Hill here, of course, just fresh off a stint with the Melbourne Renegades. Now expert commentator as well. Played this morning in the first ever Women's Premier League match that took place. Was on the winning side. pick up any wickets? I didn't see.
Yeah. Final over, I got 2 wickets.
I must have missed that one. Missed that over.
Did you?
Missed that.
That was the best one.
Saw your first spell. As a fast bowler, you still get as grumpy as the men. You know, when things aren't going well or a batsman's irritating you.
I try not to be,
Yeah.
especially being a captain. You can't lose your cool. But sometimes if there's a bit of a wandering around on the field, might shout at them.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like you just want to bounce someone because you're angry?
I don't want to risk it.
Slow ball, whacked straight and hit hard enough to split the long off and long on fielders. Much needed boundary there for Scotland.
That's the risk of bowling Yorkers, really. No room for error.
That's right. And especially on the slower ball there, the full toss gave Rob Taylor just a little bit more time. As I mentioned in the first one-day international, he's scored some very handy runs for Scotland in recent years, coming in down at 7, 8, 9.
It's well bowled.
That's the single. I don't think you'll mind getting Rob Taylor off strike, conceding the single. That'll bring Mark Watt to face up, the 19-year-old spinner. So 8 for 148 here. There'll be one more over after this one. Pulled up there. I hope he hasn't got a little injury here. Doesn't look totally comfortable. Seems confident enough that he'd be able to bowl the next delivery here. Going for that Yorker as Rico predicted at the start of the over. Got a good Yorker. He's going to go. He's going to bowl another one now. Does he
I reckon
mix
a
it up?
slow
Is he gonna
ball.
go short?
Slow
ball this
ball
one?
Yorker, I think.
Goes slow ball. It's up in the air. It's not going to carry to the boundary, and it's been taken. Bubba height down there. Slow ball, not quite the slow ball Yorker, but
Yorker,
it was
yeah.
the slower ball. Maybe he was trying to bowl the slow ball Yorker. So Rob Taylor threatened to hit a couple of big shots in the final few overs there. It's Brad Wheel coming out at number 11. Scotland with one over to go here, 9 down, so another wicket, and they will have failed to have batted out their overs.
Azaz Khan bowling the last over here, I think.
Got a pretty good Yorker as well, judging by his performance the other day.
Yeah.
And to bowl the final over, off hitting, Samantha Singh. Apologies for Howard Stout.
Ground announcer having a few goes there at getting the correct name. Just the single there to Bradley Wheel. So it does bring up 150 Scotland. May not get to that 165 though, Marika. We're all wrong.
Well, anything below that, I pretty much win, don't I?
True. So, Azaz Khan here. 4 balls to go in the innings. Full toss, an over point that might go all the way. Fieldsman coming around, no, cuts it off. Kinshit Shah out there. Oh, direct hit from the boundary. I had to think about it. Excellent fielding. That was about as good as it gets from the deep point boundary, 1 stump to aim at. Direct hit.
You got a great run out yesterday as well.
He did. So they brought the 3rd man up and dropped deep mid-wicket.
Ooh.
Brilliant Yorker. And well done, Jamie Atkinson. Stopping that one. He just got a little tickle on it, which deflected the ball. And if it had got past him, that would most certainly have been 4. So 153 for 9 in Scotland. Hit hard down the ground. Just going to be the single though. Bradley Wheel, quite able to get the elevation. Just practicing it at the non-striker's end now. So what about this score for Scotland, Marika? Is it not quite enough in your opinion? Enough?
165 is not bad actually.
I haven't quite got 165 here. That was your prediction,
well,
remember?
2 more balls left. You know, could be two sixes. Hong Kong have done. Oh,
Well,
shot.
there's one of them. That's a great shot. And there is one. I think that did go for 6. Mariko, why would I ever question you? I don't know. Because Mark Watt has just stepped inside Azaz Khan and paddled him over fine leg for 6. AB de Villiers would have been happy with that one. And that's something prompted a bit of thought from the bowler and got me a little afraid of a potential 6 and proving you're right. Marika Hill, when she first sat in the commentary box, predicted 165 as the score. It's going to be tough to get to 5, isn't it? Or no ball 4.
4 and then 165 to win.
Yeah, yeah. It didn't look too likely a couple of balls ago, and when I said there was no way that she was going to be correct, and now all of a sudden it's looking quite likely. So you may not hear me in commentary at all for the remainder of the afternoon. It might just be Marika Hill on her own. As Khan gets in the Yorker. Just pick up the single.
Is that it? Yeah.
I'm sure that's the last ball of the innings. It is. So, well, Scotland, they started with a flurry. Didn't quite get the finish they wanted at the end of the innings, but 161 for 9 is the score, and we will be back. Thank you for joining us, Rico, here on the live stream, the Hong Kong Cricket YouTube channel, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes' time for the run chase. Scotland repeating, making 161, Hong Kong requiring 162 to win. We'll see you shortly. He managed 66 from 10, but this definitely is going to be a score that will challenge Hong Kong. Max Abbott here again with you, and got a special guest with me here in the commentary box. Got Afzal Haider, a selector with Hong Kong. Welcome, Afzal.
Thank you.
And I imagine that with the recent success of the Hong Kong team, that selecting teams is getting increasingly difficult.
Not really, because I'm still playing with them, most of them, so I know exactly who is performing and who is doing well on Sundays and Premier League. And I'm being part of the Hong Kong cricket for the last 15 years. I have coached these people, I have played with them. So I think this is the easiest job compared to the rest of the world, like team maybe other countries. It's more hard for them because the bigger numbers there. We are lucky we have small numbers to choose from, and it's much easier, especially somebody involved in playing as well.
Sharif opening the bowling, and his big appeal, and it's given. So first ball. Jamie Atkinson's gone. A blow for Hong Kong there. Jamie Atkinson smacked 20 off just 7 deliveries in the first game, but he's nicked the first ball here. Safian Sharif picking up the wicket for Scotland. Bit of a blow there for Hong Kong.
Yeah, Jamie was in a very good form. It's unlucky Hong Kong, but we have, I think, a long batting order to go through. So many good cricketers coming up after this.
Scotland were also 1 for none in their innings, losing a wicket in the first over. So it's the start that Hong Kong needed. But just going back to what we were speaking about a little earlier with the selections, I've seen around town there's a lot of younger players though that will be pushing up to create a bit of more competition for places.
Yeah,
Hong Kong squad.
Especially after, I think the best under-19 squad we had in 2010 when we played under-19 World Cup. I was head coach at that time, and we had a bit of gap in the middle. So current squad of under-19 we are trying to gather. I think this is the second best team is going to be in the future, because most of those guys who played in 2010 World Cup, they are in Hong Kong team now, at least 80% of them. And that's why the team is very young now. They are like mid-20s, the age group we have here.
So new batsman in is Baba Hyatt, who impressed in the first 2020 international, hitting 26 not out off 14 balls. And because it was only 10 overs aside, that was good enough for man of the match honours. Looks like just nipping back a little bit from Sharif there. Well watched from Baba Hyatt. Just means you've got to be that bit more careful now that there's been a wicket fall in the first over. What will Baba Hyatt look to be doing here? You've obviously known him for a long time.
He's a very responsible batsman. He's very choosy as well in the beginning, and he understands the value of not losing 2 wickets in a row. So hopefully he's going to be there for a while.
No, that's straight up in the air. Might have put the mocker on him. Oh, the fielder's circling and dropped it. And that would have been a great start there for Scotland. Could have been 2 for none. He just had trouble picking it up. I'm just trying to see here. There is out there.
I think he always stops a bit with a new ball on this wicket. It hardly come on the bat straight away. Just need to, I think, face a few balls before you go for the big ones.
Yeah, it was George Munsey out there who just got turned around. It was swirling around. It is a very breezy day here. That wouldn't have made it easy. So a pretty edgy way for Hong Kong to get off the mark. Could have been 2 for none.
I think he made too many movements before taking the catch.
Tight start here from Scotland. Hopefully the rain does stay away. There is a few showers predicted this afternoon, but I don't think it's going to stop us from getting a result in. It could affect the light later on, perhaps.
Yeah, it's already getting dark now, so
yeah, it is.
That might going to be a worry, but of course we want to play.
Yeah. That'll be a wide. Now, if there is some sort of interruption, the pass score at 5 overs, which is the minimum number to make it an official match, 1 down. Scotland would have to restrict Hong Kong to 36 or under, being 1 down.
Sufyan Sharif look very strong bowler. Good high arm action. Strong build.
Short ball just tucking up Anshuman Rath, who's in great form with 97 in the first one-day international and an unbeaten 20 in the first T20 international. He must be a young player who you've got very high hopes for.
Yeah, very talented, and that does have a big heart. Very intelligent cricketer too. He knows his limits and he knows his plus and minuses, so he always build his inning first and then he go for the big shots.
On with the Middlesex County, I believe, signed with them.
Yeah, he's have a very high hope this season to get some matches there.
It's an excellent first over from Sufyan Sharif. Just the 3 runs from it and a wicket. So Scotland, in terms of their team today, didn't make any changes from the side that lost the first T20 international. So no Josh Davey or Alistair Evans, who were their 2 main strike bowlers in the one-day internationals. With Bradley Wheel to open the bowling. Bowls at a good pace, and they certainly been appreciably quicker than the other bowlers on display in this series so far. It's a bit cold today, so it might take him a couple of balls to warm up and loosen up.
They're all professionals, and especially with the T20, they know the time is not going to be enough, so they're going to bowl only 24 balls maximum.
I was told that the Scotland players didn't pack jumpers for this tour to Hong Kong, expecting some tropical conditions. They've certainly regretted that. Bowled him! So a full toss, I think, rather than a Yorker. Yeah. I think it was just slightly fuller than the Yorker, and Anshuman Rath was looking to go down the ground but missed it. And a great start here for Scotland. 2 for 3, Hong Kong. And so it'll be
Mark
Chapman coming out to the crease. So Hong Kong's 2 main batsmen.
Yep.
Would you agree now? At
yes,
the crease?
They are, no doubt. Yeah. We depend heavily on both of them in the middle order, so they're good cricketers. Babar has been lucky already with the chance, so I don't think he's gonna make another mistake from here.
I know Hong Kong will be particularly determined to try and produce another good performance here and get a victory. The one thing they are striving for is consistency.
It's a really big opportunity here for them to win the series, especially the wicket is very good for batting. Batting second, they know the target very well. They have played against them, so they know all the bowlers. No issue on that side.
So Mark Chapman, after having what call in Australia as a thanks for coming day at TFC in the first T20 international.
Yeah.
No batting for him, no bowling. I think he said he fielded 3 balls. So gets his opportunity now, and I think the crowd will be looking forward to seeing him in action after such a successful stint with Auckland in their domestic season. Oh, he's nicked that, and that'll go for 4 in inside edge. Ball just nipping around a little bit. Chapman gets away with it. And a handy boundary.
Yeah, it's very lucky of him to get the opportunity here.
So both batsmen, Hong Kong 2 for 3, and both batsmen you could say have had a life already. So they've really got to tighten up here, Hong Kong.
Scotland mean business in this game. They're coming very hard back on Hong Kong.
Bowling with good pace here, Bradley Wheel. And that last one to Mark Chapman certainly nipped back. Just need to try and pick off a few singles here and just settle things down.
Yeah, especially to take the pressure off from you, take the single, give the charge to other person, and he's supposed to be doing the same thing.
It's well bowled again from Bradley Wheel. So 1 ball to go in this second over. Hong Kong 2 for 7 at the moment, repeating that Scotland earlier made 9 for 161 from their 20 overs. Oh, that could be out. It's down the leg side. The umpire's nodding and he's given him. So slightly unfortunate, just gloving one down the leg side. And real trouble now for Hong Kong, 3 for 7.
Yeah. This is what we call dream start for Scotland. The bowling standard is very good for both teams. They have very decent bowling attack, Hong Kong and Scotland.
Chapman disappointed with himself there. It wasn't a great delivery down the leg side, but just wasn't able to get enough bat on it. And now Scotland really in pole position here. Nazakat Khan coming to the crease, and Hong Kong in desperate need of a partnership. I want to turn around. I see there's a couple of Hong Kong government officials that have joined the hospitality area to get a look at the cricket here being played for the first time at this level in Hong Kong. They'll be wanting to see a good performance from the home team.
The people in Hong Kong, the cricket supporters, they're very lucky to have home series, and finally after tough weather in the first week, they're able to see some matches. Hong Kong been very lucky to win the one day and the T20, the first one.
Well, that's well bowled. He's found an extra yard from the first T20 international, Safian Sharif. Just shows you that Scotland are really buzzing out in the field now. They sense that a victory here is within their reach. Certainly looks to be extra determination amongst the fielders to get a win on the board, because it's not much fun going on a tour and coming back home empty-handed.
They're a very strong team actually. They've been much higher compared to Hong Kong. They've been playing cricket, very decent cricket in the past few years, by qualifying in a World Cup in T20 and ODI. So much more experience compared to Hong Kong, but Hong Kong has been doing so well in the last 4 or 5 years.
So a lot of pressure on Bubba Hyatt here. He's going to have to really hold this innings together, try and get it back on track.
I don't think he's somebody who take the pressure. He's just a very cool, normal person. He take things very easy.
Oh, that's nicked and that's gone as well. So, well, this is real trouble. Bubba Hyatt now gone. It's 4 for 7. And this is real trouble now. A great bowling from Safian Sharif, and the Scottish boys are celebrating. Bubba Hyatt caught by Preston Momsen, I think it was there at second slip. So, doesn't look pretty, does it? 7 for 4?
Not really 7 for 4 in T20 match, especially chasing 161. But the both bowlers, they're getting best use of the conditions. They're very ideal conditions for them. They kind of bowl similar condition in their own country with the cold weather, breeze going through one end to other side, nipping the ball, using their decent pace, bowling on a very good line and length, not giving any runs away. They haven't bowled any bad balls so far.
Well, this is a great effort from Scotland to come back here. I mean, they've been beaten pretty comfortably in the first couple of games of the tour. They're really showing what they can do here today, and I think Hong Kong will be a bit disappointed with that start. They just know they need to get through these first few overs. Kinshit Shah, what do we expect from him, Afsal?
We haven't had much opportunity so far in this series, but normally he opens for Hong Kong in one-day matches. Does have a very good technique of playing the ball. It's very much ball is still new. The main bowlers are still bowling, so that may be his role, to take the team from here to a level where he can do something extraordinary for Hong Kong.
There's a wide. Hong Kong will take them all at the moment.
Yep.
4 for 8. They're still in the power play overs, so when you're chasing 8 runs and over, although you've lost a few early wickets, it's not a lot of time to try and rebuild. Oh, that's nicked and short. Well, the ball, you'd have to think is doing a little bit out there, given the Hong Kong batsmen keep nicking it.
He's doing a little bit more actually, more than a little bit, because very ideal weather for seam bowlers to bowl on this. But wicket is a very nice wicket to bowl on. It's a very good batting wicket, but good bowler can always get something out of it.
And we saw in the Scotland innings, they did just wait a couple of overs. They were still after the first 2 overs, they were 1 for 7, and then after 6, they were, I think, about 54 or 58. They just had a little look for a couple of overs. It's a bit short. Oh, confusion. And plenty of Scottish fielders swarming in to try and pick it up.
And that's what we call pressure. It's always there on the when less runs on the board, more wickets on the board, so we'll always get caught in the situation.
So what do Hong Kong do here? They got to just keep going for it and hope for the
Yeah,
best,
of course. They have enough batting basically to go through, but somebody need to take the team from here to 10, 11 overs from here with a 50, 60 runs on board, and then they take from there. You have people like Tanveer and others who can come and finish the game at the end.
That's excellent bowling from Safian Sharif. Real trouble for Hong Kong here. Scotland's bowlers have got their tails up. Fielders are swarming in, and it's 4 for 8 after 3 overs.
Both the bowlers they're very confident. They're bowling on one line of the wicket. They're cutting the ball with a decent pace, of course. And the conditions are very ideal for them to bowl.
Yeah, the general feeling was that maybe 161 was just under par, but looks a fair distance away at this point.
Yeah, especially losing four major batsmen.
Umpire thinks about calling a wide there. It gives him the benefit of the doubt. Zakat Khan in good form, made 94 in the one-day international on Tuesday. And that was off 93 balls. So one thing that struck me was the wrists that he uses playing shots. Incredible.
Very player.
Bit MS Dhoni-esque.
And he was in a similar kind of conditions basically when he scored 94 runs against them. He was 3 for some 20-something runs when he came for batting and had very good partnership with the Anshuman. But he was lucky to had opening batsman with him at that time, so it's a slightly different story this time.
Just see Scotland's fielders are really buzzing here. They're swarming in on every ball. Bowled again from Bradley Will. The equation and run rate required starting to also just lift a bit. Not only are the wickets falling, but there's not really any runs coming at the moment either. Got 154 more to get. It's a good shot, but well stopped. So Matt Machin there, backward point. No, Richie Berrington. Scotland really lifting their standards here. From Zakat, but no run.
Right wheel bowling in a very tight line length. Very nice run up, very good action. Very calm and smooth.
And this time, Zackett beats man at backward point. Preston Momsen this time and picks up a single. But a fantastic over from Bradley Wheel. Just the one run coming from it. And after 4 overs, Hong Kong 4 for 9. Not a pretty scorecard.
Very unusual for Hong Kong. But that's the beauty of this game. You cannot write off any team at any stage. So Hong Kong.
Yeah, 153 runs needed from 16 overs from 96 deliveries. It's going to take some good batting. So required rate around 9ish. It won't be long before it gets to 10 and over if they can't lift the rate a bit from here. But that is gettable on this ground with the small
Yes,
boundaries.
of course. They're so much used to playing in this ground.
That's a good shot.
That's the first one.
Ease the pressure a bit. Zackett gets one through. And the momentum can change quickly on this ground. They're just obviously wickets,
Especially in this format, and they have a lot of support from the people, the locals. There are so many of them are here watching them. Hong Kong hardly have any opportunity to play home matches. So this is the first time ever they had this opportunity.
Played from Zackett. Picks up a single. Shot covered off there. Scotland certainly, their energy has lifted in the field. So the announcement of the T20 squads and Asia Cup squads last week.
Yep.
Happy with those, I would assume. Is there much debate, discussion?
Not really. I think this is the best team we can have in this country. We are lucky enough to have people like Ryan Campbell, just qualified and available to play in the competition. With so many juniors are in the team, and I think it's excellent to have somebody of his experience and ability to go with the team. He's working with the team as a batting coach as well, so knows every single person. So it'll be really useful to have him. And there are not major drama or major changes here in Hong Kong. So
you think Ryan Campbell will be up to the challenge in the World T20?
he's a very competitive person. I played with him in the club for 3-4 years now. So
short ball and hit over the top. Didn't quite get all of it. And they should get at least 2. So you think he'll be out there?
He'll be there.
Relishing facing 145 kilometres an hour again.
I think it's not going to be any problem for him. It's just the muscle memory. He needs to bring that back again, especially somebody who have played his cricket in Perth. So not a big issue for him. Of course, he's already training and working hard, having a decent season in Hong Kong.
Slow ball from Sharif. Into the over. That was a bit of a better one there for Hong Kong. 7 off it. That's 4 for 16 after 5 overs. So 146 runs needed off 15 overs. So it's pretty close to 10 and over. As we were saying, on this ground with small boundaries straight, you can bring that down. The main thing for Hong Kong right now, whilst they obviously need to tick the scoreboard over, is to make sure they don't lose any more
I think
wickets.
they started the hard work already with the last over. They're a bit more positive. They look better. So I think and bowling change as well. So it's gonna every over I think gonna be getting better and better.
Bowling first change for Scotland. Rob Taylor.
Play and miss there. Isaac looking to guide the ball down a third man, but it's a risky shot given there's a third man in place anyway and a first slip and a backward point in place.
It's a very natural angle for left arm fast bowlers.
Taylor opened the bowling in the first T20 international. Continuing to apply the pressure. Isaac not able to get that one away off his pads. Disappointed too, the fine legs up. Certainly just more and more fans streaming in here, Afsal. It just seems to be steadily growing as the day's gone on.
It is maybe it's a holiday as well. It's a Sunday in Hong Kong, so I think the main reason we not feel that part because of maybe the weather is the issue. It's too cold for the kids and the families. It's only the
hardened cricket followers.
Mostly the players and people who do play regular basis for the different clubs that they are here. I think the sad part of this as well because all the league matches are on today, so a lot of people are involved in the matches in the different grounds. Otherwise, we could have got bit more sport on Sunday.
Zach keeps trying to thread the needle there behind point, but can't do so. Great start here from Rob Taylor.
That's his favourite area basically. He uses this, cuts the ball always in this area. He's very strong on cover and cover point. Very talented cricketer, very focused person.
I'm surprised to see the slips coming out. Carl Kurtzer just being moved to a mid-wicket position. And again, can't beat the fielder there at backward point. I think that was a maiden over.
Ideal way to start your first over as a fast bowler or a bowler. Especially in T20 and you are still in a power play overs.
4 for 16 after 6. That's not the power play.
He's finished finally.
So 4 for 16. The run rate required now 10.3 and over. They won't want it to go too much higher than that, I don't think. They'll want to start getting the foot down. Sort of once it gets past 12, it gets difficult to manage. There is a change in bowling here. I think it's Richie Berrington. So in case you're just joining us, Hong Kong won the toss, sent Scotland in. Scotland made 9 for 161 with Kyle Kurtzer top scoring with 70 off 40 balls. When you look at the Scotland scorecard, that was a vital knock. Next top score was 27. Shah takes on a quick single, be out if he hits, but misses, and he's fallen over as well. That would have been out.
Very close call, very close call.
And I guess at this point they do have to take a few risks. Can't afford too many more dot balls.
I think that's the best thing to do. Take the single on the first ball, give that charge to a person who is already in a good form, score runs against them in a first ODI, knows the bowlers very well.
So they obviously believe that Nizakat will be looking to go in the cow corner region. They've got the long iron out, the deep mid wicket, the deep square leg. No one saving one on the onside. Nizakat just can't quite get bat on ball. Just had to touch it and it was one. You need to start finding a couple of boundaries here, Hong Kong. There he goes for it. Straight down the ground for a single. But a bit more intent.
That shows that Scotland are a very experienced side because they opened the field already after 6 overs, so they know they got the wickets already, 4 wickets, and runs are not enough on the board. So now what they're going to do is stop the boundaries, put more pressure on the batsmen to make mistakes here.
So what's Kinshit's area going to be here? Where's his boundary area?
He's very strong on a square of the wicket.
Scottish boys are buzzing in the field here. Plenty of chat. Encouragement, not sledging. Kinshit Shah's just got to find a way to at least be turning the strike over. Just that. It's the first one hard, but there's only going to be one there. Good bowling from Richie Berrington. That required run rate just going up and up and up here.
The crowd is very quiet as well at the moment because they're not seeing anything from Hong Kong to cherish them.
Yeah, big 6 needed here just to get the crowd
yes,
going. Get some
yes.
momentum.
Once they warm up, they'll be happy, and I think that will be the positive vibe for Hong Kong players batting in the middle. That's it.
Just waiting for it. Kolkata drops it, and it goes for 4. Well, that was catchable. It's gone through his hands there at deep mid wicket. Nizakat having to take the risk in a vital boundary there, and a missed chance from Scotland.
Hong Kong batsmen have no other options basically. They have to take risk here because the run rate is going up and up. It's going close to the 11 runs in over now. And they still have few batters who can do some miracle. They have Waqas Barker, they have Tanveer Afzal, Azaz Khan, Hasib Amjad. They all can hit. They all play as all-rounders. Good cricketers.
Rob Taylor to continue here. It's 4 for 23 after 7 overs. Swings hard, might be 2 here. It's just into the gap for 2 outfielders. Oh, he's going for it. It's going to be tight, but well run. Important 2 runs there. That's what they've got to do. Look for those extra runs. There's run rate required of just under 10.7, so you're pretty much needing close to 2 a ball.
Both of them are capable of hitting big shots, so it's just a matter of going through the situation and having that confidence of going into double figure first and then start building the...
I think the way to get Kinshit's just got to keep knocking the ball around, pick up those 1s and 2s, and Nizakat is the man to try and go.
Similar kind of role what Anshuman basically done in the first ODI with Nizakat. he was taking singles in the beginning and giving him charge. So once they both were set, then they both started hitting the ball hard.
Zacket goes up in the air, but he's got under it. The man's coming around, but it might fall in the gap. It does. There'll be 2 runs to Nizaket. Didn't quite time it, but at least into the gap.
Yep, they're looking more positive now. They know the reality. They can't take it so long. Otherwise, it's going to be too hard to go through for the next batters. They seem more positive now.
There could be 2 there. There's no fielder in the ring. And that is excellent running from Nizaket. And Cricket just to knock it into the onside, recognised that there was no one in the ring. Picks up 2.
And it's so good to see Kinchisha running for 2 runs, and that shows the hard work the coaches are doing behind in the nets and on the practice sessions and all that, because he always used to struggle for second.
So 5 runs, the first 3 balls of this over. Slow ball. Just to find a dot ball, which just puts the pressure on for Nizaket now to try and find a boundary. It's 13 off 19 deliveries, Nizaket. Kinchisha 6 off 12. Be 1 down to long on. Timed it well. That's the end of the over. So Scotland will be happy. No boundaries in that over.
And the end of the 8th over. Silver advances to 31-4. The required rate now just under 11 runs over.
I don't know if you heard the ground announcer in the background there, but that required run rate just under 11 now, 10.91. And it's need a big over just to take the pressure off.
Yeah, this is kind of a normal thing in T20 cricket, but you have to have wickets in a hand. Hong Kong lost a bit too many in first 6 overs. So that's why they're a bit quiet. They're struggling a bit to build the momentum from here.
Ball smacked hard, 1 bounce to Kyle Kurtzov. Certainly got onto that one, Nizaket. Scotland electing to keep the seamers on here because they've done the job so far. We haven't seen any spin yet. Obviously, they feel like that's the tactic that's working for them, so they're just sticking with it.
Seamers are doing really well. The ball is still doing a bit. Normally, the white ball doesn't go for that many overs, but they haven't hit so many boundaries. That's why the ball is still in a very good shape to use for the seamers.
Kinchik tries to advance, can't get onto it.
We can see Sarika Prasad on the screen, very experienced umpire from Singapore. Almost 15-16 years he's on umpiring on associate level.
Well fielded there. Matt Machin there at backward point. Good stop. Fair bit of pressure on Nizaket here to try and find a boundary because Hong Kong really need one. They need a couple. Quad rate now above 11. Short ball straight up in the air. This should be taken. And it is.
Yes.
And Nizaket falls. He knew he needed to find a 4 or a 6. Will bit of confusion initially between the Scottish fields, but a good loud call from Rob Taylor, and that's very close to being all over here for Hong Kong, you'd have to say.
Yes, that's an important wicket for Scotland. I think that's what the meeting captain and bowler they had. They were thinking something. They were planning to bowl short pitch deliveries, not allow the batsman to come down the track and hit straight. The advantage in this ground, the straight boundary is quite small compared to the rest of the ground. Somehow Scotland is not bowling in that area. They worked out really well in the start of the series. Even in the first ODI, at the death over, they bowled really well. Not to bowl full or length deliveries. They were bowling short of length most of the time. They're doing the similar thing again. Next few overs will be very important. Hong Kong captain Tanveer Afzal is on the crease, and he is somebody who, if he stays on the crease, he is not somebody who's going to stay there and not try anything. He's going to keep on trying different things.
That's hit hard, but it's straight to the fielder, and that's gone. So another wicket falls. And Chitshari got it out of the middle of the bat, but hit it straight down the throat of the fieldsman there. Callum McLeod at long off. Richie Barrington's got another wicket, and that's now 6:33 Scotland.
This is what we call scoreboard pressure. Because not enough runs on the board, that's why they have no other option but to go for. Azaz Khan, the new batsman in.
Well, what will they be saying to themselves out there right now, Afzal? At 6:33.
They both play for
leading
same
11
club.
over.
For 6-7 years they've been playing together in the same club, and they both are good all-rounders.
What are they saying to each other? What are they saying?
Of course, then we're going to be asking him to take single and give me the charge. I'll take care of the rest. It's not a small task to basically ask for anybody at the moment. It's just 12 in over for next 10 overs. It's not going to be that easy. Of course, you have to work really hard.
May as well just keep swinging here, or do you got to be sensible? You don't know time for being sensible?
I don't think it's going to be any chance of sensibility here. It's going to be just, I think, hardcore stuff, especially from Tanveer.
Wide, that'll help, and a few of those. Now, Kinchit Shah, there was, I guess you could say, a little bit unlucky.
He was unlucky. He went to the fielder.
He did hit that 5 metres either side of the fieldsman. It would have been 4 runs.
He struck really well, actually, but went straight to the fielder.
And well, they're inviting Tanveer to try and go over the top. They've got the mid on and mid off up. A couple of wickets there for Richie Barrington.
Hong Kong 34 for 6 at the end of the 9th over.
So the
Chasing 162.
required rate 11.6.
Good afternoon, everyone.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be a very exciting time from now on. We just want to see Tanveer Afzal for 5-6 overs to be on the crease.
Just to entertain the crowd, give them,
Yes,
even if it doesn't lead to a victory from here. The crowd need a bit of entertainment.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be Mark
Especially
Watt.
he's very, very famous for that.
He's got the
And spinner is on.
got the spin on, Mark Watt.
Bowler for Chorley, Mark Watt.
So what's his shot going to be here, Tanveer?
Over, long on. Long off and long off. That's the area he always hit.
No, he was looking for it. But certainly swung hard enough.
It's going only in one direction. So bowlers, they're quite intelligent nowadays. They work out on all the players from the opposition. They know exactly where to bowl, what area to bowl to who. That's why the coaches and coaching staff are always helpful. They give you the stats of every single player, what areas they hit, what their specialities are, what kind of hit they hit most.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you here in the commentary box. You haven't brought a lot of good luck to the Hong Kong team
Thanks, Maxie.
whilst you've been here, but
I'm so sorry for that.
Thanks for your insight, and the Director of Cricket, Charlie Burke, who has some explaining to do, will take your seat.
Thank you.
Shortly after.
Good luck, Charlie.
Oh, here we go. That's 6. Well, straight over
See
to
what
the fielder.
happens, eh? See what happens.
Yeah, so Charlie Burke sits down. Hong Kong hit their first 6, and they need plenty more of them.
It's possible on this ground though. Never, certainly never out of it with the short, straight boundaries. So beautiful strike there by the skipper. How do you look at it? Do you look at it 12 and over or 2 a ball?
12 and over, I think, because you're not looking for 2s.
So that must be where the drink, the clap, pat on the back.
Yeah, no, it's just a shocking start for Hong Kong those first couple of overs, losing all the key players. Imagine that'd be pretty disappointing for the coaching staff. That once they lost a couple early, they couldn't just reel it back a bit and settle.
Most certainly. Scotland bowled beautifully up front with the new ball and the power play. Look like a different side, don't they, Scotland today? They've been very energetic in the field and thrown themselves around. And apologies about my radio. Turn that off. But yeah, they look a different side out in the field at the moment. I think they've plenty of energy here. Great to see.
This is premeditated swipe. Doesn't come off against the slower ball. What's going to be Azaz? What's going to be his method here?
Loves going over long on. Loves going straight. Actually, they would have done their research, and they certainly won't be pitching too many in his half, I wouldn't imagine.
Into the gap. Could be 2 there. There's the 2 a ball.
Bit of a mix-up between the 2 fielders there. Fantastic to have Afzal Haider on the commentary. Great to see so many former Hong Kong international players down watching. A few in the cow corner and a few over in the general public area. Great to see.
Yeah, well, he had an opportunity to really talk up his job as a selector, but I asked him, it must be difficult being a selector. He just said, no, not really. It's easy.
He's just been nice there. So one of the hats that I wear has been a selector alongside with Afzal, Roger Nissim and Hashmi. He's got 4 selectors.
Someone's just got to get hot here, get some momentum going. They have not at any stage build any momentum in this innings, Hong Kong, and you sort of feel it on this ground. Even if just for a couple of overs you can get going, the momentum can turn very quickly.
Absolutely, Max, and I think Hong Kong, one of the things that Hong Kong have always prided themselves on is the fact that they do bat deep, and there's some big hitters. I mean, you've got 2 big hitters at the crease at the moment.
Good fielding. Brings Tanvir Afzal on strike.
Yep, that's a cricket shop at the bottom of those apartments there. Could be stocking some more kookaburras in a moment, especially if the Scotland bowlers get the length wrong.
Deep in his crease, up in the air. That's going to be 6. Onto the roof and not quite into the apartment block as Charlie Burke guessed, but it is a lost ball.
Magnificent 6.
Don't think many of the ball boys will be able to retrieve that one. Particularly it's over in the players and officials area.
Yeah, but the over bowled, a little bit of breeze.
That was a badly needed 6 there. That takes brings the 50 up for Hong Kong, and after 11 overs, 9 overs, 112 runs. It's a pretty big ask.
It's a massive ask, but there's 2 players that can do it. It's these 2 at the moment, and then we've also got Hasib Amjad back in the change rooms as well, who's a fairly big hitter as well. And Nadeem Ahmed's also been known to strike the ball pretty well. So there's plenty of firepower still on the bench, ready to come in.
I think from Hong Kong's perspective, given the crowd that's in here, they'll certainly want to at least have a flurry of some kind here. Bit of respectability back in the scoreboard. It's a bit embarrassing over there at 4 for 7.
Credit to Scotland though, completely different length to what we've seen in the ODIs and the T20 yesterday. Found their areas. That ball has come back, Max. Oh, umpire's not too impressed with it though. Good arm by Tabrak there.
Yeah, he's weighted that beautifully. So Bradley Wheel back into the attack. Bowled with good pace in those first couple of overs.
He's impressed me, Ferris. He's decent bowler, young Wheel. Very impressed. Mid on and mid off are up, so I'm imagining this is going to be fairly short.
The bluff. Full Charlie Burke, and I think Zaz was sitting back waiting for a short one as well. Just hasn't been able to quite get his timing yet. Zaz. Afsar was suggesting that straight is more his area.
Yeah, absolutely straight and just over long on. He's a very keen hitter over long on, so those spectators over there better be.
But such was the power of the stroke that beaten Matt Machin out there on the boundary, and a badly needed 4 there for Hong Kong, who now basically require more than 2 runs a ball. So
yep, 6 for 54 at the moment. Ball's flying left, right and centre here. That another ball has come back from the that 6 that Tambier had hit. I think that's the right one this time. Must have maybe Simon Cook threw back a dodgy one before, and Tabrak up to the task and realised it wasn't the right ball. Scotland fly out this evening on their way to Abu Dhabi, I believe, for a couple more T20Is. I think a couple against Netherlands on their way back. Preparation for the World T20 in next month in India.
what's going to be happening for Hong Kong next month, Charlie? For viewers at home that might not be aware.
Yeah, you got the T20 Asia Cup qualifiers. So the Asia Cup qualifiers actually roll straight into the Asia Cup. So the top team in that group, we're grouped with Afghanistan, Oman and UAE, the 4 non-test nation ODI T20i status teams in Asia will compete in that event, and the winner goes through to the next round or goes through to the Asia Cup.
It's hit hard. That's going to be 4 more. So Zaz starting to get his timing. For Hong Kong, and really there can be no break in boundaries really from here to the end of the innings. So Zaz, if you can keep this up for 7 overs, we'll have a game on still.
It takes something special from here, but as I said, I wouldn't, certainly not game over. I don't think Scotland would think it's game over either with these 2 at the crease. So I was just doing a bit of repair on his grip there.
I don't like is after you hit a boundary, just adjusting your gear or something. Just put your bat back
Don't
down
say
and
that,
get
Max.
ready for another ball. Oh, you're in the
For
groove.
the Hong Kong supporters, don't say that. We're very neutral in this commentary box.
Well, I really
Max.
have tried to keep it neutral, Charlie. You don't have to as much as director of cricket. I don't ask you to be neutral. Yorker, that's well bowled. Pretty much unplayable, that one, especially when you're looking to hit it over deep mid wicket. Yorker outside off stump, tough to get there. Yeah, it's a bit harsh for Scotland. They don't have any time to enjoy themselves after the tour. Straight on the plane after the game.
Yeah, it's associate cricket. It's a very well funded teams, but when you want to, if you can save a few bucks and play a few more games, that's what you do. You get straight on the flight and save yourself an extra night's accommodation and get straight into Abu Dhabi and get a couple more T20Is.
Pretty decent over there, Bradley. We're 9 off it at this stage is just fine from a Scotland perspective.
Well, that run rate just goes up, doesn't it? Just keeps going up at the moment, and as I said, still not out of it. These two, if they can hold their nerve and pick the right deliveries and start getting going, we'll have a game on our hands.
Well, I mean, the only thing to consider, I mean, with the bowlers used, I mean, Mark Watts just bowled the one, but Rob Taylor coming on here, they've used up most of the overs from their front line, so they could manage to take, so Rob Taylor's coming on to bowl now for a big over. And give Preston Momsen something to think about with his 5th and 6th bowling options to bowl the last few overs. Could make things interesting.
Yeah, and that's the great tactics of the game, isn't it? Particularly in T20. People say there's no tactics in T20. I absolutely disagree with that. I think it's a fabulous format as far as tactics go.
Taylor comes in and Azaz just bunts it out to deep cover point and gets Tanvir Afzal on strike, who's hit the ball pretty well so far. He's 12 off 7 deliveries, a couple of sixes, so it's just ... 6, ... 6.
Yeah, I'm still looking at those apartments, Max.
Some ropes running around the boundary in front of us here. Not sure what's going on there. And he's gone for the big one. Has he got it over Preston Momsen? The field's coming out. It's going to be a collision. No, that's dropped. Oh, a bit of confusion running between the wickets and should have been run out as well. So, as Bill Laurie would say, it's all happening.
It's all happening to Mission Road. Fantastic. That was
Hong Kong fans applauding the drop catch out there, the deep cover boundary. Preston Momsen, I think, was put off a bit there, but Sharif just got in his eye line as he was about to take the catch.
We've seen that more and more in 2020 cricket. There was an awful collision last year, actually, in the T20 county competition, and we saw one yesterday when the Hong Kong guys were in the field.
Tanvir Afzal survives. Out of all that, he did pick up 2 runs. He's got a single there.
Decent stick, that New Balance bat. New Balance were very kind to donate a few through the association. I know we had a retweet competition. I think we draw that tomorrow, Max.
Correct.
New Balance. Great New Balance bat.
Well, that's big. That is right out of here into the apartment. That's possibly the biggest 6 we've seen here for the last couple of days. That has gone over the fence and over the tree that sits just behind the fence. And yeah, they've got a spare ball out there already. They're not bothering to look for that one. What a shot from Azaz.
That's 6 anywhere, Max, that one.
Yeah. Oh. Well, a little bit of momentum.
I think the length might be a bit different here. He's got to be careful. He's got fine leg up and deep square in.
Azaz hits that one pretty hard too. The fieldsman will get down and cut it off though.
What an atmosphere, Max, going into the
right.
last few overs and the end of this Braidwood Cup series.
Just, you would describe the last 3 overs from Hong Kong. They've just hung in there, haven't they? They're not really dented the required run rate and got it down a bit, but they haven't let it escape them to an unreachable margin. It's almost at that point, but it just hanging in there with Tanvir Afzal and Zaz starting to time the ball a little bit better.
Interesting there, the umpire Sarika Prasad at the bowler's end, just having a bit of a chat to the skipper, and
suggesting there was a bit of chat out there, Charlie.
no, I don't think it was a bit of chat. I think he was actually just making sure that the players are inside the 30-yard circle. I think that's what he was referring to. I may be wrong.
Some calming chat to Rob Taylor as well.
Action pack over. Action pack day.
There's back-to-back 4s or 6 that they really need.
Action pack crowd.
But there was 12 runs off that over, still just behind the required rate.
Yeah, you've just got to take the game deep, don't you? I know Simon Cook would have mentioned this to the boys today, and probably had a chat to them while they're sitting on the bench there. But anything can happen. You've got to take the game deep. These two are the two batsmen that you'd want at the crease in this situation, and they can take a game away. You've got obviously a change of bowling there.
I think this is the over where they'll really have to go. Spinner on Mark Watt. Interesting
here. Tanvir's got to he's got to be careful though. First ball, have a look.
That's his have a look. It's up in the air. I think it's got enough on it. Yes, it does. Into the softball courts, over the back. So Hong Kong just making a little charge here. And this is the over where they've got to go.
Max, the crowd are going nuts.
It has built. Not quite as many as yesterday, but now that Hong Kong has started to hit a few sixes, it feels like there's a few more here. I guess it's a drop catch. Would have been absolute screamer.
Yeah, an Aussie.
I'd say his hands are ringing there. What?
Australian grade cricket. That's $1 drop catch.
We had no on-field fines, my club.
That's probably why you guys have not won a premiership for a long time.
It's a shame. Well bowled from Mark Watt, and he's just pulled that back well. Disappointing for Azaz that he couldn't get off strike there.
Claremont Netherlands Cricket Club, where I played, we won a lot of premierships, but we didn't have a lot of money.
Everything comes at a price, Charlie. Oh, that's out.
Yeah, boy!
And he's done him, beaten him in flight there. Mark Watt took the pace off it. Azaz Khan was halfway down the pitch. And that bright, promising little partnership comes to an end. And when the run rate required is 13 and over, you need to find that second 6 in the over, really. Kind of looking how the innings has played out here with this sort of little partnership getting going, it does show that if Hong Kong had have just been able to limit the damage in those first couple of overs, they could have put themselves in a much better position than they now find themselves in. Our TV director here, Norman, there just getting into the tunes.
Loving it, isn't he, Norman? He's a few moves there to show us. Probably could have showed Azaz how to use his feet a little bit better, maybe with that delivery. But a clever bit of bowling there, and as you were saying, the wickets that Hong Kong lost in the power play, it's gold in to take wickets in the power play. We've got Wakas Barkat, the former vice captain, who was actually the first ever Hong Kong player to score 100 in a T20. It was against the Maldives in the ACC Trophy in Nepal.
Well, good comeback here from Mark Watt. He's under a bit of pressure there after that first ball disappeared.
Two umpires again today. It's Tabrak Dar standing at the bowler's end, the Hong Kong umpire. Sarika Prasad at square leg.
A couple more dot balls there, so it ended up being a reasonable over, and I would say an over that has sealed the game for Scotland. Barring an over of 24 to 36 from Tanvir Afzal.
Yeah, well, you're still in it. That's the thing. We're still in it. We've got Tanvir there, Hasib to come. He's someone that can easily clear the rope. Lost many a cricket ball here. It's Mission Road. But as I said, you take the game deep, anything can happen.
We've got some of the Craig and Gower Cricket Club members there. Great Gatsby with the jacket on. And the women's cricket captain Emma Lai also was in shot there.
The who's who of Hong Kong cricket.
That's right. That's well bowled from Sharif. Bowled a superb spell up front. Really got Scotland going, nipping the ball around a little bit. Got Jamie Atkinson out, the first ball of the innings. And obviously the key wicket of Bubba Hyatt as well. 3 overs, 2 for 11 coming into this over. Just the single off the first of his final over.
Not bad figures, are they, in T20 cricket, particularly when you're bowling in a power play.
What's Wakas going to be looking to do here?
He's going to go over cover.
Playing a miss.
You don't want to give too much width with third man up, obviously. Third man up, got final leg
Disappointed
up.
to miss out there.
Oh, as we said it, it's happened to me a few times today, talking about the field. Third man's now dropped back.
One step ahead, eh, Charlie?
Yeah, third man's dropped back and he's brought deep mid wicket up inside the Kyle Kutsa, inside the ring.
Goes deep in his crease, but Sharif responds by producing the Yorker.
Yeah, Tanvir's going to have a chat here, and I don't think you need to be Einstein to figure out what he's saying. He's telling him to get him on strike. He just needs to get some bat on ball and get Tanvir on strike.
And he has done that now, but so 7 for 80. Score here, not pretty reading. The crowd has gone quiet again. They chirped up for a couple of overs there.
Yeah. Third man back inside the ring. Deep mid wicket back.
Can't do much with that. That's well bowled from Sharif.
Terrific bowling from Sharif. He was really showing his skill set, hasn't he? He's showing the length that he bowled and the lines that he bowled with the new ball, and showing his skills here at the back end of an innings.
Well, I guess look, when you're looking at the match as a whole, the only batsman really who's got going has been Kyle Kurtzer. 70 off 40 balls. No one else. Matt Cross hit a couple of boundaries, but aside from that, no one else has really been able to get going on this wicket. I really think it's been the Scotland bowling, though, up front that gave Hong Kong their problems. I don't think you could blame the surface for being particularly difficult.
No, I certainly wouldn't blame the surface. It's going to be a tough job picking the man of the match today, which is one of my duties here. But I think particularly in a T20, you've got to take into account that the bowlers bowling in a power play, but also bowlers only been able to bowl 4 overs, opposed to a batsman scoring runs too. So you've got to take all those sorts of things into account with the man of the match. Yes, so Bubba Hyatt, batsman, was awarded the man of the match with his 26 not out.
Yeah, he's got to get Tanvir up on strike here. The run rate required is 16 and over. And you just got to get Tanvir on strike. A bit harsh in number 9 batsman, but that's a nice little clip. That's pretty short down there. And the fielder's done well. And you pick up 2. Mark Watt coming very wide on the crease there. His front foot pretty much landing off the pitch. Tanvir Afsar just giving that extra reminder. Yeah, mate, me on strike, please. And he's bowled him. So another wicket falls here. Mark Watt went for the reverse sweep. Did Wakas, and he's met his end. Charlie, you're not looking too pleased.
Just confused. You got two blokes behind square. You've got a short boundary straight, and you got a spinner throwing the ball up. Doesn't make sense to me, but got to see Barmjad coming out to bat now.
Tanvir Afsar will be feeling a bit frustrated there at the non-striker's end. Hasn't been able to get much of the strike the last couple of overs, just as he was starting to warm up.
Well, that concerns me as well. It's he's certainly not renowned to be the most patient of batsmen, but he needs to get a lot more of the strike, Tanvir.
Yeah, Tanvir Afsar currently unbeaten on 25 off 14 deliveries. And that is the top score, as Khan made 20. Really, when Hong Kong were 4 for 7 after 3 overs. So it was going to be tough from there. And that's what's needed. Steve just knocks one into the vacant onside, picks up a single, gets Tanvir on strike.
Clever cricket. This is going downtown. Something's going to happen here, Max. I don't think
it's not going to be a forward defence. We can rule out the leave and the forward defence here.
Tanvir's not going to try and reverse sweep this, I can tell you.
Didn't quite get it. Be able to pick up the single. Done well here, Mark Watt, under circumstances where the batsmen are looking to do nothing other than hit him out of the park. He's mixed his pace up well, used the bowling crease. Two for 15. Bradley Wheel, 3 overs, 2 for 14. Rob Taylor, 3 overs, none for 19. Richie Berrington, 3 overs, 2 for 20. Mark Watt, 3 overs, 2 for 17. So Hong Kong batsmen haven't been able to really get any of them.
Hong Kong 86 for 8.
And just 4 overs to go now, and an unlikely 76 runs required in that time. For your information, Charlie, that's a run rate required of 18.30 runs per over.
Well, as I said, there's one man that can do it, and he's on strike now.
And there's the first 6 of the over, right on cue. That's that cricket shop you've mentioned so many occasions down at apartment block 1A there. Tanvir Afsar will need something ridiculous from here, and getting a 6 off the first ball is a good start. That's his 4th 6.
Yeah, if Kookaburra are watching the match at the moment,
may be wondering how the umpires
might want to open a shop up down there and probably sell the balls back to us again.
Between their thumb and forefinger.
Some of them haven't been used for very long.
Commodity in associate cricket.
Oh, hang on. That's not the cricket ball, is it?
Sounds like the ground announcers got into the cow corner keg.
Keep them in good nick.
Jed Tian from one of the local radio stations here. Yorker hit out, and well stopped out at long on there. They'll come back for 2. They have to come back for 2. They make it. After Afsar getting that Yorker out to deep long on. It was Callum McLeod who on the half volley managed to palm it down.
It was a fantastic bit of fielding. He lunged to give himself a chance to take the catch, and knew that he was a bit short, so just kept it away from the rope.
And that's in the air. This could go all the way as well, and it does. So another 6 for Tanvir Afsar. moves on to 38 of 17 balls, and that is the 100 up for Hong Kong. 8 for 100.
runs and 100 runs for Hong Kong. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
Max,
sorry,
Good
Max.
support on the far boundary.
Left arm round the wicket.
you blokes.
I'm confused here.
Half volley again, that's going to disappear as well. Very good caught at the start of the over. It's 3 sixes, 20 runs off the first 4 balls.
Put it in the same spot.
They still need more of them. 8 for 106. 56 off 20 balls. So Tanvir Afzal, that's 40. Just 18 balls now for him. Just got to keep hitting him.
I don't know what to do with their field here. He's hasn't mixed his lengths up. He's going to certainly have to drop this one a bit shorter.
Half volley again, that's gone for 6 more. Tanvir Afzal. The skipper trying to create a miracle here for Hong Kong.
It's all happening, Max. It's all happening.
He's knocked up his 50.
And that's actually his 50. It's gone too quick for me. I've missed
Just delayed by the green.
just 20 balls.
Super over for Hong Kong, and once again the selection comes out.
This is, at the very least, giving the crowd some serious entertainment here.
A remote.
Tell you what, if he gets one more 6 here, this is game on for the last 3 overs. 50 off 19 balls, it's still very difficult, even at that, despite the 26 off this over. But
Still coming around.
I did say they needed something in the 24 to 36 range to get themselves back in the contest. Short, net's over, it's going to be 4 more. So what an over. Tanvir Afzal, that one a bit lucky, but 30 runs off the over. And that has given Hong Kong a sniff in this game.
4 runs for Hong Kong.
Taylor's brother,
116
he's
for
walking
8.
past.
17 overs completed. 3 overs to go.
Suitcase is packed.
Well. This is so, what's the equation now? I've got to try and catch things up here. It's all been happening. 8 for 116 now, Scotland. Sorry, Hong Kong. 3 overs to go. 46 runs required. And, well, I think the job for Haseeb Amjad here is reasonably straightforward. You just got to get Tanvir.
I thought you were going to say that Haseeb's now got to get 30 off this end. That's what I thought you were going to say, Max. He's capable of doing it, though.
She's hit Bradley Wheel in the bowl here. 3 overs, 2 for 14. Rob Taylor, his figures absolutely ruined that over. 4 overs for 49.
Gutsy having long on up.
Well bowled Yorker, but it could race away for 4. It does. That was a good ball from Bradley Wheel, and the third man was there on backward point. Still raced away.
Awesome.
The fans have been treated to some interesting cricket today. It's been a little bit up and down, but fantastic finish to this game, which is what they deserve. They've stuck around. It's pretty cold today in Hong Kong.
Well, this is incredible turnaround here. I think I actually called it and said that it's sealed victory, and they're still very much in the ascendancy here, Scotland, but it's 42 off 17. Strike rates come down from almost 19 down to under 15. And the wicket obviously changes things quickly because Hong Kong are 8 down. And smart play from the sea. Very intelligent cricket, although boundaries are needed. I think the high percentage play is having Tanvir Afzal get on strike.
What an applause for a single.
Yeah, the crowd rated the tactics.
Just shows the knowledge of cricket is very good here in Hong Kong. Crowd behind these last few overs, trying to get the home team home.
Actually, see what do here because it's Mark Watt, the spinner, and Richie Barrington. So it's their 4th and 5th bowlers left for the last 2 overs. It's up in the air, but he's not got onto it. Should be taken. And is taken. Rob Taylor throws the ball down. Just hit for 30 in the previous over. Tanvir Afzal, the ball was there to be hit. You can see his head goes back, but it was a great innings from the skipper. He's did just give Hong Kong a sniff, but unfortunately being 9 down, it's going to be tough now. But a terrific innings from Tanvir Afzal, gone for 56 off 22 balls, 7 sixes.
Yeah, terrific knock that. A real skipper's knock.
And I dare say later on the Hong Kong Facebook page you can see that over of 30 from Tanvir Afzal. I'm sure it'll be replayed many times. So Nadeem Ahmed's gone out there and he's certainly very handy with the bat and can hit a big ball. Told me that he doesn't like having siders when he goes out to bat. Just likes to have a go from ball 1 and he'll have to do that here. 41 needed off 15 for Hong Kong. Bradley Wheel has been excellent. It's well bowled. Top ball at this stage. Very handy for Scotland. Charlie Burke's had to just run out of the commentary box here, so left me to see out the last few overs here of this Braidwood Cup series. Scotland looks poised to get their first win of the tour before they fly home. Well, no, they don't fly home. They fly to Abu Dhabi later this evening for a couple more matches. See, Amjad just blocks that one down the ground. They'll only be able to pick up 1. Nine for 122. And what an innings it was from Tanvir Afzal. An over of 30. Got the crowd going. That's great bowling from Bradley Wheel. Nadeem Ahmed can't get bat on ball, and that's the end of the over. So the required run rate is blown back out once again. 122 for 9. So 40 runs required from the last 2 overs and just the 1 wicket left. So just to recap the match, Hong Kong won the toss and decided to field first. Scotland made 161 for 9, with Kyle Kurtz at top scoring with 70 off 40 deliveries. And the next best was Matthew Cross with 27 off 21. Hasib Amjad was again impressive, 4 overs 3 for 21, and Nadeem Ahmed 4 overs 3 for 23. And Hong Kong in response got off to an absolutely disastrous start. Complete carnage. 4 for 7 they were after 3 overs. 5 for 33 and 6 for 33. Hasib picks up a single. And really from 6 for 33 after 9 overs, they've done pretty well in the next 9 to make 90 runs for the loss of 3 wickets. The match was pretty much all but gone from that stage. Tanvir Afzal gave the home side a brief moment of hope with 56 off 22 balls. It included 7 sixes. And this is up in the air. This should be game over. No, they've just watched it drop onto the ground. Richie Barrington not too impressed.
The spirit of giving in the Scottish team is high.
So a let off there for Nadeem Ahmed. A bowled again from Richie Barrington, just looking to finish this match off. Short ball, hit in the air, it's going out to the fields, and Matt Machin takes the catch. And that is game over here in the second T20 International. Scotland have won this game by 37 runs and levelled the two-match series at 1 apiece. And credit to them, they were soundly beaten in the first ODI and the first T20, but they've responded brilliantly here today on the back of Kyle Kurtz's 70. And then they were outstanding with the ball, with Safian Sharif leading up front, 4 overs, 2 for 15, and Bradley Wheel 4 overs, 3 for 20 were the standouts. Richie Berrington ended up with 3 wickets as well at the end there. So victory for Scotland, and at least they have finished their tour on a high here to Hong Kong. Excellent that the weather did allow us to get cricket in here today, and a good crowd has turned out for these 2 days of cricket. Of course, 2020 International is the popular format here in Hong Kong, and of course these two sides will meet again in the World T20. So on behalf of Max Abbott, myself, and the Hong Kong Cricket Association, thanks very much for tuning into our stream. We will broadcast the live presentation after the match, so do tune in. But from me, it's goodbye.
試下聲喎。keep 住講緊。走咗啊！IQ 咧走咗啊？唔知啦。嚇？跌咗啊！你問下佢啊嘛，你好嗰你問下 IQ 咧係咪搣走咗啊嘛？喂 ，Cam 3個 Q 咧喺邊度啊？佢無端端我咗。有嗰個有冇？唔乾淨呢部機，乜都冇。我俾一支香米你先。
Firstly, I'd like to just start the post-match presentations. A few thank yous to go through throughout this whole series. A big thanks has to go to the ground staff after the last 10, 11, 12 days of continuous rain and wind and all that sort of stuff. To Justin, Vans, Joel and all the ground staff, thank you very much. Big thank you to all the volunteers, everyone from the scorers to people assisting the ground staff, to the people that are helping here keep you guys back as well. We've had volunteers from the National Women's Squad and also the Hong Kong Cricket Association Dragons, which is the local Chinese team. Thank you very much. Big thank you to all the Hong Kong Cricket Association staff for putting on this event. It's the first time that we've hosted international cricket, T20i cricket, ODI cricket and first class cricket. So on behalf of the President and the Chairman, to all the HKCA staff, thank you very much. Big thank you to the three gentlemen over here, the match officials. A few of them were here for the first part of the series, and these guys have stepped in for the T20Is. It's not an easy job, particularly when you've got the conditions that we've had over the last few days. To Ian, Tabarak and Sarika, thank you very much, gentlemen. To LCSD for their support in allowing us the facility here, and probably more so putting up with me over the last 12 days as well. Thank you very much to Ada and all the team at LCSD. The sponsors, I know a few of the VIPs have probably enjoyed a lot of the sponsors' product over the last few days, but to everyone that's helped and supported this event and all the sponsors, thank you. And the biggest thanks to the Scotland team. Thank you very much. You guys have tolerated and put up with pretty ordinary conditions, and it's frustrating staying in a hotel room, all that sort of stuff, but we thank you a lot for coming over here. It will go down as history as the first ever ODI and T20i. You guys are a huge part of that, so thank you very much to Preston Grant. Obviously a big thank you to Tanvir and Simon Cook, Jarwood and all your team. We wish both teams all the best. Next time you play each other will be in Nagpur on the World T20, so all the best to both teams. I'd like to call upon the President of the Hong Kong Cricket Association, Mr. Rodney Miles, who will present the Man of the Match award. There was a few outstanding performances. One notable was obviously the Hong Kong skipper Tanvir Afzal at the end there, 50 off, I think it was about 19 balls, well batted to Tanvir. The Man of the Match though from Scotland, terrific innings at the top of the innings, set the platform, and that goes to Kyle Kutsa, 70 off 40 balls. I'd also like to, we were going to present the Braidwood Cup, but a few people enjoyed themselves Tuesday night at CCC, and it's somewhere at CCC. So we will get it to the Hong Kong side, but I would like to call upon the skipper from Hong Kong to come forward in a moment. I'd also like to welcome TK, who's the Deputy Secretary for Home Affairs and the newly appointed Commissioner of Support, and a big supporter for Hong Kong cricket. That's it from me, Scotland. You're flying out tonight. All the best. We look forward to seeing you in India. To all the spectators, thank you very much for coming along. I know Kenny, I think you wanted to say a few words, or you want to say that later? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Stand here. Stand here. Where's Kenny? Kenny.
आज टीम आज सारी आ जाओ ना जुवेद भाई आओ ना यार देखो छोटी मिलता करिए जोजी खड़ा हो जा साइमन के आगे खड़ा हो जा जावेद दिल्ली कुर्सी दे दे नू चलो यार ओके थैंक यू Gary.
Keep the rope up, please. Let's go.
Stretch with me. Okay. Ajo boys, stretch. 5 minutes. No. Stretch first. यार स्ट्रेच करो ना यार रोलर पे आ गए हो स्ट्रेच करो स्ट्रेच फिर बोलेगी फिर बोलेंगे रोलर करो सारे बैक साइड को सामान हां someone took it